is one love, so feel free. For we are the people of the Caribbean, showing that we don't want no basin plan. I say we jamming to the songs of the Caribbean, we grooving to calypso and steel band. Together, so should every leader, for we are one people, one destination. So let us move on without hesitation. I say we jamming to the songs of the Caribbean, we grooving to calypso and steel band.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
The venue is Tobago, and it's going to be a grand show. A true Caribbean Callaloo mix up. When we start to jam up, we going non-stop. I say we jamming to the songs of the Caribbean, we grooving to calypso and steel band.
no noble thoughts brought us here to this region, but through it all, we have risen above. Cloudy nights, flashing their willow and leather, these keepers of the flame must feel our undying love. This Caribbean nation is rising fast, a sunbeam cutting through a clouded past. A passion fills the world like a raging fire. As the sun shines, you know we can take it higher. Let every voice be raised. Everybody give praise. Rally, rally round the West Indies, now and forever. Rally, rally round the West Indies, now and for all the years, months, weeks, and days you have guided us, showed us your mercy, your love. We give you praise. Father, we give you thanks for rising up this morning, for health and strength and life so we could go on. And though the road is rough and the journey is long, but we got to take our time just to jump this one. So if you live in life and you love this life, then just give thanks for life, cause everything's alright. Let God be by your side as your shield and guide, and everything's alright. So let we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. Don't bother about mind your brother, don't bother about mind your sister, living. Give thanks and living. Father, we give you thanks for all that you have done. The good times, bad times, times that we had fun. So many mistakes we've made, but we have learned. Now it's our time to give you praises in this song. So if you live in life and you love this life, then just give thanks for life, cause everything's alright. Let Jah be by your side as your shield and guide, and everything's alright. So let we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. Don't bother about mind your brother, don't bother about mind your sister, living. Give thanks and living. Father, we give you thanks for every lesson learned. Sometimes it was rough, but it made us strong. But mind and the wicked we have overcome. So now we give you praises as life goes on. And now I'm living life, cause I love this life. I got give thanks for life, and everything's alright. I got you by my side as my shield and guide, and everything's alright. So glad we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. Don't bother about mind your brother, don't bother about mind your sister, living. Give thanks and living.
In this life that we live in, oh yeah, yeah. Says you got to have that someone. If I gave you this water, would you drink it from my hands? If I told you my secrets, would you tell them I'm your man? Now that you know my secrets, use against me if you can. It's only you that I'm asking. Would you stand beside this man? As if you decide to tell me yes. Yes, I know that you know. Now you know I got the rest. And if you decide to tell me yes, yes I know that you know. Now you know I got to rest. If I gave you protection, would you sleep inside my dome? It's only me and you, baby. We would never be alone. 'Cause anything you require, I'll assist it on my own. 'Cause I'm a man of my words, baby. Turn our house into a home. If you decide to tell me yes, yes I know that you know. Now you know I got the rest. And if you decide to tell me yes, yes I know that you know. Now you know I got the rest. Lord, I ask in my prayer for a woman so unique. Come and give me your love, girl. I never felt it so sweet. I'm never leaving, I'm staying. I just thought I'd let you know. So come and give me your love, girl, 'cause I'll never let you go. If you decide to tell me yes, yes I know, yes I know, that you know I got the rest. And if you decide to tell me yes, yes I know that you know. Now you know I got the rest. If you decide to tell me yes, yes I know, yes I know, that you know I got the rest. And if you decide to tell me yes, yes I know, that you know, now you know I got the rest.
Well, I still love John Lee, you know. Hey, Jaron die, for he's high. Whoa, whoa. Love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore. Oh, hey, Jaron die, you shall be chopped off. Oh, well, hey. Love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore. Oh, hey, Jaron die, you shall be chopped off. Oh,
chopped off, yeah.
Woe be unto the shepherd that lead my sheep astray. So far astray. For I know they got to pay someday. Woe be unto those who now and see their children grow. Oh, for I know they got to stay under, way below. Woe unto those evildoers. For I know there is no good in all your heart. But I say, love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore. Oh, hey, Jah and die, you shall be chopped off. Oh, well, hey, love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore. Oh, hey, Jah and die, you shall be chopped off. Oh, well,
yeah.
living this life, you got to be strong. So strong. To overcome temptations. Every day. Jah no want no gold, no diamonds, no pearls. A clean heart and good liberty here on earth. So you see, so keep it clean, remember to praise Jah. For his Man shelter and man shield. Remember I say, hey, love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Die forevermore. Oh. Hate Jah and die, you shall be chopped off.
Chopped off,
hey, love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore. Hate Jah and die, you shall be chopped off.
Chopped off, yeah.
Out to all you good, kind-hearted people. Oh, just keep the faith and life will go on. Remember to pray, pray. Don't let the weak ones get you down. No, 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 no. Remember I say you got to be strong, so strong. So come on now and give Jah praises. That's what he means. For all the great things he had done. Remember I say, love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore. Oh, hate Jah and die, you shall be chopped off. Oh,
Chopped off,
yeah. Love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore. Oh, hate Jah and die, you shall be chopped off. Oh,
Chopped
yeah.
off, yeah.
Oh, be unto the shepherd that lead my sheep astray. So far away, for I know.
This is for my people, yeah. Now wake up, my people. Open your eyes. Stop living this life so carelessly. Stop living blind. Do we really believe only if we see? There's no wonders, no sign. I should do it till the earth starts crack open. Sun stop shine. Now wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Wake up and live. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Things are not always what they seem. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Oh yeah. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. For too long we've been living in bondage. It's mentally. Take away the chains from our hands and our feet. Tell us we're free. But yet they want to control our lives, our destiny. But who are best to hear will hear. Who are eyes to see will see. So wake up, now wake up, my people. Wake up and live. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Things are not always what they seem. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Oh yeah. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. For what has been hidden from the wise and the prudent shall be revealed unto the babes and the sucklings, Lord. What has been hidden from the wise and the prudent shall be revealed unto the babes and the sucklings. Then if you know what that means, wake up, now wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Wake up and live. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Things are not always what they seem. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Oh yeah. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Now wake up, my people. Open your eyes. Stop living this life so carelessly. Stop living blind. Do we really believe only if we see? There's no wonders, no sign. I should do it till the earth start crack open. Sun stop shine.
good time. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time.
My lover, I have to mention in my confession to you, my lover, and must discuss what we should and shouldn't do. As a my lover, a good relation is a relation based on trust. My lover, we too jealous and suspicious. It's outrageous and ridiculous to see we messing up the mind. See how we messing up the mind. I tell you no. Let's have a good time. No, my lover. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Oh no. Let's have a good time. My lover, I used to worry about you having a second hand. My lover, as if to help me fulfill my duty as a man. You know we're tripping, we're really stupid for true. My lover, it's so amusing to hear abusing and accusing. It's so confusing. I know they're messing up your mind. Oh, I know they're messing up your mind. My lover, my lover, my lover, my lover, my lover, my lover. Let's have a good time. No, my lover. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Me darling, no. Let's have a good time. I said, me lover, your love too precious and too delicious to lose. Me lover, and too special to abuse. My lover, what's good for ram goat is good for gander and goosey too. My lover, you must remember, me baby lover, when you out yonder, protect me pleasure and don't go messing up my mind. No, don't go messing up my mind. My darling, no. Let's have a good time. No. My lover, my lover, my lover. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. My darling, no. Let's have a good time. Oh no. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good
FM. Yeah, I'm just going to go start the show. Yeah, we're still on 8:30. I didn't get time to do the poster though. But we're still on tonight.
My Lord, this one is gonna make you so very weak in the knees, yeah. I see you living a life of selfishness. With your love for humanity, you no care for no one else. Do what you want to do, when you want to do. Take what you want and call it yours and say that's no mistake. Pressure in your children, tell me how much can we take. Sometimes when we a smile at you alone, no say it's fake. The pressure and the pain you sure are you alone me sick. Cause this one is gonna make you weak in the knees. My Lord, this one is gonna make you so very weak in the knees, yeah. I see mothers against daughters, fathers against sons, brothers fighting sisters. My God, when will we learn? How much more we got to see? Very soon the time will come when all wickedness must go down and righteousness must come around. Well, I see little children making babies, and the youth them lost them respect for the elders. And every youth you meet them tell you them a gangster, and if you ready them a bitch shot up in fire. Hey, I want this every youth man desire. When someone pray, teach them to pray, teach them to pray. This one is gonna make you
weak in the knees.
In the knees, my Lord, this one is gonna make you so very weak in the knees.
This one is gonna make you weak in the knees. I tell you, this is Gem FM. I'm your host, the Sheriff. Yours truly, John Kelly. As we begin today's show, I have a special guest. Yes, a very special guest this morning. Yes, it's happening this morning right here on Gem FM. You don't want to miss this, folks. Go tell your neighbor, go tell a friend that Gem FM is doing something special this morning. Yes, with a couple of green, I call them the Green Power couple. So if you're listening, I'm coming too. Yes, coming too. Yeah, are you coming? Are you coming? Okay, let me pull up this. Let me pull up this one. Yes, if you are in the house, and you're listening to Gem FM this morning, I want you to check this out because we're here doing it nice and sweet for you on a Saturday morning. Compliments, Tracy Grant, Lewis, and Mexi the Messenger out of Greater Carriacou and Pity Martin on Gem FM.
The kitchen to the dining room.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Sweetman, let me tell you something, lad.
We're talking about the power couple and to the power couple this morning. Miss Grenada, Tracy Grant Lewis, and Mexi the Messenger. Go tell your neighbor, go tell your friend. How we gonna do it right here on Gem FM. Yes, I'm coming too. Are you coming? Please join us. Never seen before. We coming. Please love, like, and share the thing, man. Shediting, from Poinseling to Lepers Hill, from Rainbow City to Sunset City, St. David's to the fishing village of Gaul, Dry River, Lakatut, St. James, Belvedere, Marquis,
Panorama.
We're doing it.
Go on ahead, Lord Kitchen. I come into.
Are you coming in? Please love, like, and share. Come on, man. Come on in.
Look, you always have me.
The king and queen is here.
Treating me cold.
You need to have no fear.
I come into.
Tracy Grant Lewis
And you could go in.
and Mexi the messenger.
I don't want to.
They are here. They are
I
here.
come into.
Oh, got Sister Tex, my beloved sister from Williams Road in St. George's. That's my co-host and sister in Christ. It's a power couple, me and her too, you know. We mash up things every time we go in together. I'm looking for Delbert, Mr. Strong City Man. Where are you this morning, brother? Tracy is here before you, waiting on you. Yes. Are coming too. They're not going without each other, they're going together. I tell you, Tracy here and Mexi the messenger, they're coming together, not living one without the other. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. A couples retreat on Gem FM this morning, telling the youths how to live together. They're gonna learn something. Yes, they're coming together, not separately. They're one flesh. Living together in one accord, building a nation together. Because this one, I tell you, is the power and the glory, making you weak in the knees. This one, gonna make you weak in the knees. Check this one out. By the Mexi the messenger. MDM. So weak in the knees.
I see you living a life of selfishness. With no love for humanity, you no care for no one else. Do what you want to do, when you want to do. Take what you want and call it yours and say that's no mistake. Pressure in your children, tell me how much can we take? Sometimes when we a smile at your alone, no say it's fake. The pressures and the pain you sure are you alone no say. Cause
this one is going to make you weak in the knees. In the knees. Tell them people. Tessa Strong, good morning to you. Ajax, good morning. Toronto, Scarborough, Brampton, Mississauga, London, England, New York City. And not forgetting my good friends out there in China who always listen to Gem FM. Good morning to you. Up to my good night to you.
How much more we got to see? Very soon the time will come when all wickedness must go down.
Yes, all wickedness must go down. Righteousness must stand.
Well, I see little children making babies.
Say what?
Them lost them respect for the elders.
Tell them the messenger.
Tell them a gangster. And if you ready them a bit shot, it will fire. I want to say you can hurt desire. Teach them to
pray. Teach them to pray. Yes. It's gonna make you weak in the knees. It's gonna make you so All right. Don't go too fast, Johnny boy. Right here, right now, we're gonna drop our different vibes on everybody coming in from the cold. It's kind of a cold out here still, right, Tex? Ajax is kind of a cold, not down Toronto. I guess Toronto is cold, but you're wet. All right.
I moved to Toronto. I'm to Grenada, so it's hot.
Not to Grenada. You want to move to Grenada, Tex?
Pickering moved to Grenada, so it's hot.
Oh, I see. So you're moving. You want to move out too, right? We don't give you the leave to do that. Trust me.
Oh my God.
You don't get him to have a leave. All right. Here we go. All right. We gotta do this thing nice and sweet.
Your screen guy off, John.
Yeah, coming up.
Coming out from the cold.
Huh?
You're coming in from the cold?
Yeah, man. I gotta come in from the cold because it's wet outside, you know. I don't know why this morning this whole thing.
I'm hearing something. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, they have the Grenada outside is kind of a misty morning kind of thing, you know. It's not what I really expect this morning to be like, but you know, that's what we got to deal with. We gotta deal with this because I hope Miss Tracy are going to bring some warmth and Mr. Messenger bring some warmth to us in the cold.
Absolutely.
We need that. It's taking too long to go next week again. It's more snow last next week, I tell you. Oh boy. You know, we gotta deal with it. It's crazy, but that's what it is, you know. We gotta live with it because, boy, I tell you, from one extreme to the other, it's just getting cold, like no end in sight with this coldness, you know. I'm looking for my image. Can anybody see my image? It's here. Not showing up on my Facebook page right now. I'm gonna double check it here. Where is it? Where has it gone to? I click it. Oh, main page. Where is the main? Oh, here it goes. Yeah, there we go. All right, we here. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. In the house, we have Tracy Grant Lewis, fashion designer, and most recent Miss Grenada. She's here with us this morning with her loving husband, yes, special husband, Mexi the Messenger, and his special wife, Tracy Grant Lewis. Well, folks, you're in for a treat this morning. We're not in a hurry, but I know where's Mr. Krong City? What's wrong with him? Oh, here he is. Here he is. Where's Krong City? You know?
Krong City, like
he's here. He probably shine. I think he's shining Scholar Krong.
Well, we want to wear one today.
I think he's shining Scholar Krong, man. You get paid to do that. Yeah, you get a special treat to shine Scholar's Krong this morning. Yes. So, Miss. Okay, let's see what's happening over here. All right. Good morning again, and welcome to Gem FM. Tracy Grant Lewis and Mr. Mexi the Messenger. Not forgetting my good friend and co-host Tex Manoan and Delbert Baptiste. Well, Tex have not been with us in a long time. I told her that she watched you Tuesday night, you know. Tracy, I told her you'll be here this morning. And she said, I gotta be here. So here she is. She's always my Saturday morning co-host with Delbert. And she took some time off because she's a busy lady. She do a lot of things during the day. A lot of things. She do the morning show, she do the Wednesday night show, Heart to Heart. And probably should come with her Tracy one Wednesday night. We talk about men hurt twice more than women in domestic violence. She do a lot of this stuff, right? That's what she does. And at Wednesday night, do with domestic violence against men. In particular, she do that straight up, all right? She have a heart for hurting men who hurts a lot, but don't cry. You know, they're told not to cry, be a man, pull up your pants, be a man. But nobody tell a man they should cry. So she deal with that on a Tuesday night. She even get dealt with crying one night. Can you imagine? But nevertheless, we're here this morning and we're going to talk about Tricia and Mr. Mexi the Messenger. Welcome, Delbert. How you doing? Or you've been trying to go to a Shining Scholars Crown. What happened?
A combination. Good morning, Tex. How are you?
I am good. How you doing?
Oh, it is wonderful to see you.
Yeah.
I'm doing well.
Thank you.
All right. Tricia is muted. I think is here. She's muted. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll pull up a song. Well, Delbert, Tricia is here this morning again. Both of them is here together. We had them, Tricia first, we had Mexi the Messenger, and now we have both of them this morning here on Jam FM. I call them the greater power couple.
All right.
I haven't seen this in a long time where a couple and greater working together like that in unison, and doing what they're doing together. They're farming. She's a farmer. He's a musician. He also cook, and she now for Miss Grenada Elegant Mothers Pageant coming up in May. Man, I'm telling you, the hands are filled. I think God had to give them 2 more hands each. Do all what they're doing there and still remain strong and still remain together. I mean, there's nothing else when a woman is submissive to a husband who follows God. I'm telling you. And this couple, trust me, they're spiritually grounded. You can't deny that. After talking to them both separately, and now we're going to talk to them together this morning, the spiritual level is on a high, real high. So they read the word a lot, they spend time in the word, and they leave the word, raising their family in fear and admiration of the Lord. So here we are this morning. I think they get cut off a little bit. They wait for them to come back in. In the meantime, the song I've been playing text is their song. This one called Love Jah and Leave. Yeah, Love Jah and Leave. Here it is.
Well, I still love Jah and Leave, Hey, Jah and die, for he's high.
Mexi the Messenger.
Love Jah and live.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore.
When children are raised right, they live right. Yes. The evidence is the fruit that the tree bears. And 2 children came from 2 separate homes, and the destiny called each other, living together. They both come from good family burden. Yes.
We'll be on to the shepherd that lead my sheep astray.
Yeah.
So far astray. For I know they got to pay someday. We'll be on to those who now and see their children grow. Oh, for I know they got to stay under.
Yes.
Oh, unto those evil doers. For I know there is no good in all your heart.
Hey, don't forget to check out Ola's Kitchen, 477 Oakwood Avenue. Breakfast is being served.
Love Jah and live.
Life forevermore. Hit Jah and die, you shall be chopped off.
Yeah. This is Caribbean Connections. And this morning we have with us the power couple, Mexi the Messenger, and Tricia Grant Lewis. All right, they're back. And I was just talking behind your back. I said this is two people who destiny have cut up with each other, bred from 2 strong families, and last week I spoke to Mexi, and getting to know his family background, knowing his mother, and knew they come from good stock, and good stock made good stock. The legacy will continue, right? They say judge a tree by the fruit it bears. And I could go back to the generation before you guys and see that it came from good stock. And this is the fruit of their labor. Both of you here together is representation of the generation of blessings that have been stood up on both of you. So today, guys, we have 2 people that are blessed and highly favored. Yes? Blessed and highly favored. And you cannot get any better than this. I tell you something, in life, nothing is really perfect, but everything is working to perfection. Right? That's how they do it. Working to perfection. And on the way, I tell you something, I always say this to my people, that the road of success is not evenly paved. Yes, but as you trod to the road, you will see the patches. You just learn to navigate yourself over the patches of life and just continue moving. Like Peter just say, keep on walking, don't look back. Keep on moving. Like our motto says, forward ever, backward never. Is our real motto for sure, right? But everything in his right timing, and God is good. He's doing what he's doing. So Tricia and Mexi, good morning to you again, and welcome to Gem FM. Well, Tex Manwaring is here with us too, so she had to introduce herself because she never met you before. So Tex has the opportunity to introduce herself too. Yes.
All right, good morning. Good morning.
This is Tex Manwaring on Gem FM, coming to you live. I'm a co-host with John. I also have different programs. I have so many different groups that I'm working with. Women, men, children, counseling, ministering, praying, everything in a bag. You can think about that's what I do. And I'm here on a Saturday morning, but I'm also here Monday to Friday, every morning doing intimacy and worship. So preaching is part of the game.
Singing. Don't forget to say you sing.
She's been modest. Just tell them you keep us all humble and grounded, and
she's known as Mother Tex.
She keeps us all in line and keeps us in check. So
once you put the line spiritually, she corrects us.
I have no shame in my game, so I'm gonna put you on blast.
Yeah, she does that. She does that to us all the time. Well, everybody knows Mr. Krong City Man, Delbert Baptiste. No really need to introduce himself again. And I think he's only hard and of the poor couple, I call them, the great poor couple, Tricia Grant Lewis and Mexi the Messenger. Well, this morning, folks, you're listening for the very first time. Well, welcome to Gem FM, Genesis Magazine Radio and TV. We are here today with Tricia Grant Lewis, Miss Creator, fashion designer, Mexi the Messenger, songwriter, musician, farmer, chef, fisherman, everything, just name it. He's all that. So I'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves. They just get cut off again. Then the Wi-Fi or here internet that's getting like a hula hoop in Grenada right now. So ladies and gentlemen, yeah.
That's it. It's in the Caribbean. It's just hitting every minute.
Yeah. No, we here. We're not going anywhere. We're not in a hurry. So today is their day. We open for them to do their thing, say their thing, and to tell the Grenadian and the world who they are, what they do, how they do what they do, and how they stay together. Because not very often people stay together in tough times. A tough time don't last, but tough people do. Yes? Yeah. Tough people do, no matter what come their way. I always say, don't jump the ship if the tide get high. Stay and shape and steer your boat to safety. Rough seas make good sailors. Yes? Rough seas make good sailors. I learned that a very long time ago. If you jump the ship, there's no experience of navigation through the storm. Stay on board. Yes? Yeah. I think Bob Marley said, when the race get hard to road, the rest can face the pace. Yeah? Yeah. Just stay on board. Stay on board. Sure. Well, I think they're there, but there's no video. They're going out to come on and back in. So Tex, how have you been doing?
Oh my God, I've been doing so awesome.
Right.
It was great. And then I come back and it seems as though everything is doubled. So everything that I had doing before, everything is double. It's some long days, some long evenings, but God is good. He never gives you more than you can bear.
That's what you get to know St. Patrick's in St. Patrick's.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to invite you to a place. It's in Grenville, and it's called Cookie Delight. If you go there, you have to sit on the chair and just just do like that. And they bring what they bring to you. But you will see it coming, but you wouldn't see when it goes. And then you wonder, what did I eat? It's a place Oh,
It's called-
Lord Jesus. Is there it have something that called the current roll?
Andrew.
Okay.
Let me pause there.
It's to die for.
Hold on, text. Let me pause there. Tracy, this is text. I will tell you about text a little bit. You can tell.
Okay.
She only knew St. George's, okay? She only knew St. George's, not Grenada. We was threatening to take back her passport from her because she doesn't know Grenada at all. She just knows St. George's, Ghanaians Beach. That's all she knew was Grenadian. So we had to we had to send her to Grenada. She go to Grenada for a funeral, and she get to non-Grenada. She learn all the little Leopold Seal. She know where Leopold Seal is now. She know where St. David's is now. She know where Guava and Victoria is now. So she know all over Grenada now. So she could boast now. She tell us what she eating Grenada. All the delicious food she ate in Grenada now. So she's now Grenadian. Yes, she's now officially a Grenadian. All right. So Tracy is here, and we continue with them because that's their time. And I want to just what? Grenada, Toronto, USA. This is Mexi the Messenger and Tracy.
There is no audio.
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah.
No. When you were speaking, there is no audio. Doris, Anna saying that, and Kevin is saying that.
Okay, let me check this out. Why I'm not hearing myself? Why they're not hearing me? Oh, I know why. Okay, they're not hearing it. Okay, there you go. All right, so they're hearing us right now. Okay, so now they will hear Tracy because Kansi didn't hear her. So now they're going to hear her. Sometimes I just, when I'm alone here, sometimes when people leave, I have to press that little button here. All right, so Tracia and Mexi the Messenger, please welcome to GMFM. Give a drum roll. Can we do a drum roll? We can do a drum roll for this.
No.
We can do a drum roll. All right,
there it is.
I'll do some ladies. Oh, where you go? Okay, where is it? Yeah. Yes. We got them in here. Right? And they hot.
Thank you.
What's up?
I get some water, Inspector.
Are you able to hear us?
Yes, we're hearing you loud and clear. So, yeah, we hear you loud and clear. All right. You're loud and clear.
They're saying no audio.
Yeah, they get it. No, they should be getting it right now.
Doris say, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, yeah, they're hearing us now. Yeah, everything is fine on my end here, so it's good. Showing out on the outside. Yeah, so Tracia and Mr. Mexi the Messenger. Now the world is looking to hear from you this morning. They want to know who this poor couple. So I'll let you lead off, and as I introduced you already, tell the people who you are, what you're doing. Ladies first, right? Yes. And tell us a little bit about your Miss Grader pageant, who you are and stuff like that. And we'll go back to Mr. Mexi and we'll go back and forth with the two of you. And then, just ask you guys questions that the world will let you know and what keep you guys together, what keep you ticking when you're getting a licking, you know what I mean? Life serve you lemon juice and just lemon and how to make lemon juice out of it. So, and just keep on smiling through all these times. Like I was saying before, you guys cut off the rough seas make good sailors, right, Mexi? You would know that. Because you know what the rough seas are. You don't jump the boat when outside get bad. You come back alive. You navigate right back to land. You didn't jump ship. So all of that in real life situation. So go ahead, Chrissy. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Hi, good morning to the world. Good morning to Toronto, the whole of Canada. Thank you so much, GMFM. Hey, Mr. Crown Country.
Good morning.
I'm calling Crown Country now. Good morning.
You give me a promotion.
Yes.
Republic of St. Patrick's, yeah?
Yes, the Republic of St. Patrick's. I would like to say thank you so much for having us back here. Of course, it's always a pleasure. And you're like our Mr. Charles, John, sorry, you're like our personal little, team. Go with Trisha and Mexi. We really appreciate that. You have no idea how much that means to us. We're grateful and we're forever appreciative. And thank you so much on behalf of my family. The kids who are not here, we send them to play on the beach because it's just going to get too hectic. They send their love as well. And for those of you who are viewing, my name is, as John said, Tracia Hazel Grant Lewis. I'm a fashion designer / farmer, mom, friend, mother, cousin, auntie, you know, the whole works. The proper Proverb 31 woman, I like to call myself. At least I try to be as much as possible. And of course, this is my amazing husband, among many other words. I have to introduce him before he introduces himself because, you know, I always do enjoy introducing him and having great things to say about him. I am also a fashion designer, and recently I've entered a beauty pageant. It's the Miss International Elegant Mothers Beauty Pageant. It is such a powerful platform for women, and the reason I actually took this offer, I am a former beauty queen as well, captured at least 17 international titles as far as Hollywood, and however, this platform really impressed me because of what it is, the causes, and what they're championing. It's empowering mothers and women and family. And I think when you look at society today, for my husband and I, we're really great on advocating for family and, you know, just empowering family. We strongly believe an empowered family gives us a strong society, and with a strong society, we have stronger nation. And of course, if we have a strong nation, we will have a beautiful world. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy process, but just from inside of our home, we kind of can tell you this is how, you know, at least this is a blueprint. And for us, the key was trying to figure what empowered my husband and I, you know, as husband and wife, as friends, as business partners. And that I can safely say off the bat. It wasn't that we loved each other or, you know, he's so handsome or I'm a great cup of tea. It was the love of God, really, and understanding, as they say, the faith and love of God. And so that has also really grounded us as a couple and has helped us in many tribulations. And of course, you know, we have to give thanks and praise to God the Almighty. I know he has many titles, but I think my favorite one is the fact that he calls himself the I Am. And so that's pretty much who I am in a nutshell. I must say though, just to add a little to that, I do love humanity, and I can't wait for us to make the conscious decision globally to want to be better people and fight for that, you know, that point. And thank God to social media, we can do this.
Yes, very good, very good. And well, Mexi, go ahead. You do your thing now. Chris, you do your part. You do your part. Introduce yourself. Ben.
Okay. Morning, blessed morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Mr. Krong City. Yeah. Tess. Morning and pleasure to meet you. And Sir John, you know, like my wife was saying, we really embrace this opportunity. The rest of the world, those on the live, those who even not on the live, who might see it later, who might, you know, we just want to say, blessed day, blessed liberty to all, you know. Mexi the Messenger. Well, first to begin, like I said on the previous program with you, I never gave myself that name, Messenger, you know. I always was introduced as Mexi, and over the period of time performing and doing shows, the people saw the music like as a message. So they started introducing me as Mexi the Messenger, and that just stayed as Mexi the Messenger. And that's why my music are so, you know, we could say they're profound, you know, they're so, because I would live up to that name which they give me. It's like a title, it's like a crown. So I would live up to that name here. So that's where that name came from. Again, I'm just another humble servant, you know.
Doing your thing, yes.
Doing my thing, trying to show other people that, you know, the world could be a better place. We could be a better people. you know, we all have to first understand that we all make mistakes. So we try to live from that mistake and don't do that mistake twice. Else, doing that mistake twice, you will be a fool. You know, so
right.
We learn from our mistakes and we move on and we try to show people how to live and get it right. It's quite simple, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and that's part of my music mission, spreading the message and the joy and the love and making people know that there is a Most High, you know. There is a Most High, there's a creator, there's the one who created all things, because there's still certain things we can do and it's happening. So we know that there is a creator, there is the one that has the most power. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So then I'm a fisherman. I go out to sea, I fish, I do farming. I jack of all trade, you know.
I like that.
To some people I might master a few, but I think there is always room for improvement, so I don't see it as jack of all trade and master of none. But I jack of all trade and I master of a few still, you know.
You know, some people often say that they never complete the sentence. Nobody ever complete the full sentence of that statement you made. He's a jack of all trade, master of none, right? But better than the master of one. That's the full statement. Better than the master of one. Jack of all trade, master of none, but better than the master of one.
Yeah.
So that is to be person doing many things.
You know,
when people hear it, they think it's a put down, but really what it is that it gives you more power and more versatile to do many things than being
you know. Yeah, so you know that's me. I mean, quite simple.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
All right.
Wanna just send out a special blessing and big up to my mom. That's Alexander Velma, you know.
Let me say cousin Velma, right?
Yeah, cousin Velma, yeah, I wanna send out a special.
You know, for us guys, moms are always that special person, you know.
Yeah, you know, it was
I lost my mom in August of this year. Is going to be 10 years, and it seems like only yesterday. And I'm sure there were times in my life when I was growing up when I took her for granted, just assuming that she would always be there, you know. And I'm sure there are times when she annoyed the hell out of me, you know. But since she passed, I have not gone a day without thinking about her.
I know.
Not a day, you know. So we have to take care of them while we're here and tell them how much we appreciate them, you know. I was lucky that I was able to do a lot of that, you know, in the last 5 or 6 years of her life, so because I had spent so many years away from her. But moms are just really a unique part of our whole you know, our lives. You know, we can't replace them. We can't replace them. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Mexi and Tricia, you're here with us today, and I want to be starting off. I want to ask you guys this question because a lot of times people are in love. They just meet each other, say love at first sight, and you know, I just fall for him. I just make a weak to the knee, you know, kind of stuff. So I want to ask. I will probably go to Tracy first. How did you guys first met? Didn't you feel you guys fall in love? How did you guys become friends and then become lovers? What happened? What was the chemistry when you guys becoming friends and then becoming lovers and then becoming married and having children? What was the journey? Where did it start from?
Although you said Tricia, you're trying to steal our priceless secret. Are you trying to steal our priceless secret?
Well, you have to tell the story for those of us who are not good at it, you know. So we can learn. We can learn.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell us. We're listening.
Yeah, it's fun. So
well, It's actually one of my favorite stories. And see, he's smiling already. And now that we look back at it, it's really what set the foundation for us. We were actually best friends, and we knew each other from way back. Actually, our grandparents were best friends, and there's a story there. And anyway, eventually, some years in life, moving down the road, our best friends was best friends with each other, pretty much. And so we met through our friends. But the interesting thing about that part of the journey is Mexi and I became best friends for 3 years. And I can't stress on enough for people how this is important. It was it wasn't it was strictly friendship. So we really got to know each other in a very clear space without no extra pressure to try to please or try to imitate. Um, are you there?
Yeah, we here. We listening. We here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we listening. We listening.
And so we were best friends for 3 years, as he would have mentioned prior to these interviews. I would always go over to his house on my lunch hour because I got a job, and he'd always cook for me. So his cooking definitely kept that man could cook. Oh my God! And I remember, funny, just before my mom died, she called me on, and she was like almost on her deathbed. She said, "Trisha, promise me one thing. Promise me you will marry him, and because you like to eat and he loves to cook." I'm like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yes. I know how much your stomach means to you, but on a serious note, he's an amazing cook, but he was such a great friend." And so what that did for us, and I'm talking no kissing, no petting, none of that. It was just strictly friendship. We would go out, and we never had, he never invaded my space. He never invaded my privacy. I never felt that he violated the space. Because something about me, especially being in the spotlight, a lot of men would, make approaches, and sometimes a lot of the times, like in the Caribbean in particular, I think the standard is so low that men don't understand. Like, you're within a certain space, you have to learn to respect a female, regardless. And with Mexi, I never felt that my private space or area was threatened. I actually always welcomed him into it. And so that set a really good foundation for us moving into the couple zone. So what happened now, as Kevin Hart says, see what had happened was when his best friend was getting married, um, we went to the wedding. And I just remember looking at this man, and at that time, I think it was the last day we were just friends, and the first time, because that when he took me home that night, I got my first kiss. Oh my goodness. I remember going into my room and folding up in my bed and locking my pillows in. It was like, they said you never forget your first kiss. I think Mexi, I don't know, that I will never forget the feeling. I will never forget the warmth. I will never forget it was just so pleasant. And I remember I called him, and he gave me this really gentle kiss. By the way, it wasn't anything extra. It was the proper, back in the day, what do you call this? John Wayne kind of, movie kind of kiss. Proper gentleman. And my husband was quite the stud back in the day. So for him to be such a gentleman, I was just even taken aback. And I remember I went into my room, curled up in my bed, and I called him. And I said, "Well, you kissed your best friend, so what do we do next?" Because I was really afraid to cross that space. I didn't want to. I remember we had a conversation one time after 3 years, and I was saying to him, like, I value our friendship so much, not even realizing at that time I was in love with the man long time, just playing hard to get and thing. I didn't. I was really fearful of losing his friendship, and so that really mattered, and he knew that. So I guess maybe in his way, that's why he maintained certain boundaries, and he didn't come on too hard or whatever. And I came from at that point in my life, it's very low. You know, I had a lot of tragic experience, including losing my parents back to back. So it was really not a good time. But I felt very secure. And then I remember that conversation when I said, and by then he already knew everything I wanted. He understood me. He looked at me, you know, for like the last 3 years, processed me, you know, learning my behavior, my emotions. So he said, well, marry to me. That's what we want to do, right? And I said, yes, of course. And that was the story of how we met. I think to the best of my memory. Again, the highlight of it for me was that kiss. And well, yeah, he had to beg me, as you said. And the man said to me, well, you want God to come and tell you, Trisha, this is the man for you? And he was, at that time, he was serious as a judge. He's like, you know what, enough is enough. This is not no friend zone anymore. No, this needs to get serious. But even when he said that, at the time, what he didn't realize is I was attracted to that, because what I saw in him was, okay, he's serious now. And what I even you know, looking back some years after, he was able to maintain a boundary around me, knowing, you know, as he said, I remember asking him, why me? And he said two things. He said, you just need love, and I will make you forget all the pain. And I remember when he said that, I thought, wow, he would make me forget all the pain. That's a pretty high, you know, that's a pretty steep mark. I want to see you do that. And you know, I really have forgotten all the pain. Like, I was in a very dark place, very hurt, very emotionally scarred. And this man loved me just as a friend. And then when I became his fiance and then his wife, not too soon after that, it all went away. And I say to him every day now, it's so easy for me to forgive and to love. And that has a lot to do with him, the way he loves me, the way he treats me. So I was saying, I still have that little dress that I kissed him in. And every time I pick it up, I just smile. And that is how we met. And we got together. And, you know, it was, we both wanted family. We both were at the point where we knew what we didn't want from, you know, would have been past experience. So it wasn't really hard. However, when we got married, I knew from the get-go, things will shift a bit, because when a man becomes a husband, I don't care what anyone say, and I'm speaking from experience. He understands that he is the protector, provider, and owner of all of this. And when I say all of this, myself, my children, our well-being, our finances, everything. So I understood that he was going to go into a zone for marriage, being very protective. And I also understood me coming from a space where I was pretty much like, you know, single mom, very power, you know, understood, and I'm grateful for the principle, the values of the Jehovah's Witnesses. And so they taught a lot about marriage, and I'm really grateful up to this day. So I understood he will get into this zone that it will almost threaten me as a woman. And so a lot of the times I had to pray, because I'm looking at this man, you know, at sometimes getting very husband, you know, and I'm like, but I can do this. I did this on my own, you know, I don't know why I have to do it together. But thank God for the love of God in me. I always heard the voice. And I mentioned this because what happens, what I've seen in marriage is within the first couple months to a year, most persons don't understand. It is a man's right to be like that. He has to now figure his way through this. And you as the female, because we're so emotional, we're supposed to help them, not retaliate or become a competitive ground. That will break a marriage in the split of an eye. And for what my husband and I went through from the day we got married, which was on his birthday, it was like the gates of hell open and everything came rushing out. And, you know, just recently I was saying to him, I think we could have done more. And he said to me, Trisha, maybe that is true, but if we did, we may not have had what we have now. And so I'm really grateful for the entire process of how we met, how we got married, and how we dealt with the first part of our relationship.
You know, you said something last week before that you prayed to God to build your husband, to give you the ideal husband that you wanted, you know, and God showed you have it right before you, you know, it was right before you. What you were asking him for is right before you, and it just becomes self-evident. Look, here it is, and You've been building a relationship that you wanted, that you didn't realize that you was building. God had put you in that place so you could really see who he was. And God tell you, this is the guy you're asking me for, but he's right before you. How do you feel now knowing that you had prayed to God for a man like that? And eventually he was right before you and you didn't recognize it at the time. Probably, like you said, you saw it, but you just been hard to get. How was that for you?
For me, because I was really, I'll tell you, to be quite honest, and maybe this type of conversation is not very taboo, it's kind of taboo, but I really was brought up with a lot of godly principles. And I just really did not want to run around again. Like, I didn't want to have sex with a billion different men, and it just wasn't right. And so even when I realized, like, I was starting to have these feelings for Mexi, I was very protective of that space. And I really wanted, that's it. I didn't want to go past that. So I had this wall and built up around me. I mean, thank God Mexi knew how to take them down brick by brick without breaking the walls. And I think with that now, I realized he was very careful. So my body responded, and my body's was a big part of this. It was how I was feeling, because for a very long time, I felt very numb. And after so many years, I have my friend having me feel these feelings, and I had to process all of that. And then coming from a world of beauty pageant at the time, my husband was not the package, what society, what even at the time I didn't understand. So he didn't come wrapped in, the glamour and the very tall bank accounts and the extremely groomed gentleman type. He was very modest, very humble, not too much of the fashion conscious type of person, very conscious. And I'm a beauty queen, so coming from that world, you can imagine. So I was not looking at him like that, but when I started looking at him like that, I had to pray a lot. I'm like, oh God, keep me firm and strong, because why am I looking at my best friend like that? So I did have to pray. Honestly, I did have to pray a lot. And I think he knew I was looking at him like that, because sometimes he would just show up at my step with food, in the night. We're like, And I'm like, Lord, why am I feeling so about my best friend? Why am I feeling like that? I have to be grounded. But I did pray a lot. And even at the time, I wasn't really spiritually awakened as I am now, but it really was God who helped me. And thank God that we did get married. He was an honorable man. He kept to his word. And a lot of that I know stems from his mom. She's quite the tough bud, and I love her dearly. We are really great, today. She was very stern about him. And I just remember thinking, for her to love him this much and be the way she is, he must be something worth having. And so I learned a lot from her, and I was able to appreciate him even more, not taking him for granted. Because in my career, it's easy to take people for granted back then. I always got what I want. I was always the center of attention. But and then my husband being, so soft and always giving, it would have been quite easy for me to, be negative about it. But I must say his mom kept me in check. And of course, as I said again, the little knowledge I had at that time really helped me, to stand firm.
But I really hear you saying this, and I want to just piggyback on something, because not quite often I hear a wife talk so glamorously about a mother-in-law, having to counsel you into grooming you for a son, making sure that everything is right, and making that you recognize in him that he was well bred, and well kept. Mexi's father and his mother, I know that both of them, and police officers, again, discipline was the order of the day, and love and discipline goes together in that family. His grandfather I knew very well, I was saying that his uncle, one of his uncle, I think, Nathaniel, and I was in same class together. So he was a very soft-spoken, going guy, so looking back at Mexi now, I could looking back at the family tree and realize he come from good stock. So, I could say to you, even though I couldn't recommend the marriage, if I had to redo it again, I recommend that marriage again. Because sometimes you look at people and you know where they came from, they know the family. this is good stuff. You know what I mean? So I want to say this because sometimes people just happen to see people together and they don't understand them and they see them function in a role. And they say, how come these people doing this? How they do this together? How they work together like this? You don't see them fighting, or you don't hear them cussing one another on the street, and you don't hear no bad report. What kept you guys together? Anyone of you could answer. Probably I'll go to Metsi on this one. What is it? What was the catalyst for keeping you guys together strong and energetic and empowering and encouraging other people around you? How you guys was able to put this together?
Okay. Are you hearing me?
No, we're hearing you, don't clear. That's all right. I know I didn't hear the cock crow for a while. I didn't hear no cock crowing, but I'm looking for the.
Could you rephrase again, please?
I was saying, what was it that kept you guys together? I mean, I know you both come from good stock, and the coming together, is one that Tricia explained how you guys came together, met, and what is it that keep you guys together now? What is the catalyst for keeping you guys together, keep going year after year?
Okay, so basically I want the little spice and the little nutmeg, how I mix it up and thing. Mr. Kong City, just a minute, we have a parade or something just passing.
Okay.
So we just let it pass through. And then
what parade are having in Greater now again?
We're probably asking for donation for
maybe
something.
a donation and parade or something. Maybe
They want to put the trucks on the music.
The song on the truck.
Okay.
Well, then they're hearing it.
Are you hearing it loud? Or we could go on, or it's loud?
No, but we're hearing you more. We're hearing you more. Just in the back. But I was just saying that back in the days, there'll be DJ Pusher on that truck, Hot Wax. Somebody. Yeah, be DJ Pusher doing something like that, that'll be using his DJ set to do this stuff in Grenville. I'm telling you. Wax didn't do much of that, but Pusher and Vico, one of those guys will be doing this morning. So I don't know, there's a DJ man in Green or not, but I would.
Seems like they slow down a bit.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so you're hearing me, right?
I'm hearing you good.
No?
Yeah. You can never take off. Just your end, internet freezing on your end. But, you're frozen. Okay, they're frozen for a while. We'll be back with you. Yeah, it's a wonderful, powerful love story, and I see Tex giving it the thumbs up and Delbert laughing in the corner. The story is amazing, and that's what I love in this story. I love in this because sometimes we see people we don't know and we hear them and we see them doing things and things like that, but we never know the genesis of how they started, and people might seem to be judgmental and stuff like that. And look down because of who they are, where they come from. But in our world today, when God is in your thing and you're doing your thing with God, He will supply all the needs. The road won't always be smooth, but I tell you, at the end of the day, things changes and life change and things happen. Tex, what your take on that, Tex? I see you smiling back there. You're muted.
I am smiling. My heart is just excited because no matter what she did, she had God that was her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I tell people, when you're constantly in the presence of God, though you may walk away and do your own thing, God's hands is always on you, and you remember that. So regardless of what she did or where she went, she remembered Him.
Yeah.
And then to get her something that He's going to grow her to know that this is me doing this now. This is me carrying you now. It's just that it is such a beautiful love story. It's gorgeous. I love the fact that they were friends. Hear me? Yes. Are they telling my story or their story?
Yeah, I and I know Delbert, I know you have a thing on Delbert with the church now. I know your pastor in Delbert in a nice way, you know? And Delbert mother have raised him up to be a good church going Christian, you know.
He's coming in from the cold. He's being disciplined from the cold. Don't worry, Pastor Delbert. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So Tracy is back. Tracy is back with us. Unmute your mic again. Unmute your mic. Tracy, they're frozen. Okay.
The truck stopped in front of our house.
I'll come and tell you to move a little bit down.
We're hearing them much clearer now.
Yeah, but next you could go ahead. We hearing you. Just like it. Go ahead.
All right, let's try and see.
Yeah.
So to me, it's quite simple, eh? And I mean, if you remember on the other interview we did, I said I always knew what I wanted. Yeah. In growing up, I wanted to like married when I had 21 and have a family. From like at age 21. You know.
Right.
But sometimes we get distracted in life a lot. You know, but first we have to know when we have to know what is love and what is infatuation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. You know, I always say infatuation like you know the three little pigs, right? The straw house, the wooden house, and the brick house, right? Love is really the brick house, you know, and the straw house is the infatuation. Yeah. Okay.
The music is really loud on our end because they are directly in front of our house.
Oh.
That's just it. Don't worry about it. How is on your throat?
So we gotta do our two. Yeah.
Let's go to Pastor and Pastor Delbert.
Yeah. Okay, go to Delbert for a bit. We'll come back to you, Tracy. All right. Don't worry. We'll come back to you. Don't move in the name of Jesus. They will move down the street a little bit. Okay. So Delbert, tell me, you heard Tracy's story. Yeah, how they met. I mean, being a father for yourself, being a father of a young girl, teenage. You know, when you hear Tracy's story, you know, what comes to your mind about raising a young girl to become a woman as a father, single father? What does that speak to you?
Boy, that's something that I think about literally every day. And I don't know that I have all the answers for it. So what I try to do is to provide her with some tools. What I think is sort of good decision-making tool that she will be able to use in every aspect of her life. But that most importantly, that she prepares herself for both the kind of life that I envision for her, but becoming more increasingly more what she wants for herself. So for me, that investment was made a long time ago. You know, when in her very, very early years, when I spoke to her about investing in herself, preparing herself along these lines, and this line. And so far, she has turned out to be a pretty good decision maker, except when it comes to spending money. Okay, but
that one.
Yeah. So you know, but I worry about her. I worry about her. I hope that that she would, you know, be able to, when that time comes to make that decision, that she's armed and that she's using all her knowledge, you know, the way she was raised, what she learned in school, what she learned in real life, advice that she may have gotten from other family members or aunts and uncles, and that all that would come to play in how she picks a mate. And at this point in time, it's not something that is the primary focus for her. Her education it is right now. But I know, only a couple of years ago, I was feeding her a bottle, and now she's a junior in college. So time goes by really, really quickly, and I have to prepare for that. So what I continue to do is to continue to talk to her and try and let her know first and foremost that she doesn't have to rush into anything, because she has an incredible support network from mom and dad and other family members, and that there would always be a place to return if for whatever reason she fails or falters. That home would always be that place that she can return to, no questions asked.
Right. I'm sitting here listening to you, and Tricia is doing her thing, because as a young mother and a wife, you see how she carry herself, into a space, and she recognizing her husband respect for her space. I have a daughter too. She's 20 years old, and that kind of stuff I want to instill in her, that her space must be respected as well. And as a man, I will let her know what not to accept as a young lady from a man, And I think when you look at Tracy's story, she mentioned how patient her husband was. Again, that also says that his mother has raised up a good man, and she was a good man, and she recognized the goodness in him being that man that God really wanted for her in her life to work with her. And here you have them today, a power couple working together and dreaming together and building together the life that they want to have happen for them. The energy that radiates from them, I even ignoring what we do here as well. We have this couple, I call it power couple, and building a network to get a network, and pulling together the resources that they need to strengthen the relationship, both business, personal, and family, and I think that speaks a lot when you find a couple that can really, really work together like that, and let the world know that we are here, we're not going nowhere, and that's who we are. And coming from the background that they came from, I said before that it's well bred. Both of them came from real good family values that nurture them into this point where they are. And the meeting of both of them, it created a kind of a diamond mind, that persons could really grab from later in life. When the children look at them, they'll be becoming an example for the children. So the children from their children, the fourth generation down from their children, go look and say, this is what our parents have done, And I really, really appreciate their story. So Mexi, are you okay now? The song is gone?
They just left.
In the name of Jesus. Thank you very much.
They were seeking some donation for some lady. I saw some lady on the front of the truck.
Okay. Some medical donation.
Some medical donation or so.
10,000 US.
Oh, okay. I think I saw it on Facebook too.
Yeah, I think I saw it too.
Yes, so
as I was saying, at a very young age, I always wanted to have a family, married and have a family, like when I was like 21. That was always part of my dreams, I grew up with my grandparents, seeing the family life.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew the eating in the bowl in your hand and this stuff. We were always wrong with things. I think I had like 14 aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up part of my life with my grandparents, where there was always this buffet style. The bowl of rice goes around the table, the bowl of peas around the table, you know, and this stuff. So which to me was always fun, because at that time there I love to eat too. So
So it's not me alone.
I always enjoy that that part of it too. But I always thought that it was something good, like having a family and just, you know, a oneness. And that was my dream, to be at 21 and have that. I didn't achieve that at them time there. And I guess maybe it was because of the teaching and the knowledge, the patience and everything that you would have to have, you know, to go through that task. Because I hear men say, yeah, boy, go and hang yourself today, boy. You're going to put the rope in your neck. That's so much of a task. It really is a task, you know, and it requires a lot of patience. But as I said earlier on, before the truck had disturbed us, there is a difference between being in love and being infatuated. Yes. And most of the time, we all are infatuated. Infatuation take over, and we don't really realize that, because we don't take time off to see what is love and what is the difference between them all. You know, there's a vast difference, you know. So in a case where you are in love and your other half is under infatuation, they're infatuated, then obviously that's two different paths. You in love would be serious. You want something serious. You want to build and start a foundation and build something. Being infatuated does not require this structure. It's just a way of life. You move now, tomorrow, what come, we play the next day, and so it goes, you know. So you have to be able to figure out which is which and what do you want. You know, right? Because you have people who want to live in infatuation. They don't want to live in. They don't know nothing about. They don't want to be in love. They just want to have a life, just have a time. You know, it doesn't matter to them. But when you say in love, and again, when you talk love, we don't talk sex and this kind of thing. But people just affiliate love. The first thing in your mind is sex. Like if I tell a woman I love her, maybe she thinks that I want to have sex, and that's the whole. You see, so you have to get deep into it, because it's not a surface thing; it's deep. You know, infatuation, and I keep stressing on that, because that's a lot of that's the majority of the problem. A lot of us are infatuated, and we think that, and that's why I have an upcoming song coming up, True Love, where I talk about that, infatuation and love. You know, it should be released maybe next month or so.
Okay, I know Jonathan going to. Yeah, I know that Tricia said that you guys are very good friends, right? And in that whole construct of being good friends, and you mention of infatuation, but she was in love with you, deeply in love with you. She wasn't just infatuating. You, on the other hand, you know, was that pursuing or pushing? Were you secretly admiring her as well too, as a friend?
Well, to be honest, one of the things over our 3 years of friendship, I always had to keep reminding her. Don't get it out of your head that I doesn't want something between us. Always remember that I want something between us. I'm not pressuring you. I'm not, but because more time, ladies have this thing when you're on them good and your best friend until you come and is your best friend? You come and tell me this and this. So I will make you know as often as I could. Here I'm going and cease. Just keep it there, you know, because I'm very serious.
I must say he did maintain, and I don't understand how he did that. I tell him this up to this day. it was like most of the time a male and a female, you're best friends, and it's kind of like, oh, you're my brother. I remember one time I said that, and he was like, Trisha, I am not your brother. Don't ever look and think about me like your brother. And he only had to say it one time. I was like, okay.
Well, she need to get it because I always keep it right. You need to get it one time. Don't put his brother in there and then you find like an outer place. You know? Don't find then you find.
But Mexi, that takes a great amount of awareness for you to, because most men do it the opposite. They don't say anything. They just sort of secretly admire from afar, and they kind of hope that at some point in time there is an opening, and they get, but the fact that you saw this person first, the quality in her to be a friend, and vice versa, but at the same time you were clear enough in terms of what you were thinking and certainly what you wanted, that this person can possibly be, I don't want to use the word groom, but this person can eventually become your wife. And for you to sort of put that out there very early, and then keep at strategic times or at special moments in the friendship, because to remind her of that is quite the opposite how it's generally done. So what gave you, I don't know if it's the confidence, because you have to have confidence in yourself first to do that. First,
what a confidence do.
Yes, so what gave you that confidence and gave you that sort of clarity in your mind that that was the best approach? Because we, the truth is, us men, instead of having that kind of clarity, we and sometimes it's laced in humility. We infuse it with our ego, and we end up losing, and we become like the dog, the shadow, and the bone. So you did it the exact opposite. How were you able to do that?
Well, again, it's all knowing what you want, eh?
Yeah.
It's all knowing what you want. And now in life, I really learn from life more than I would learn from books. Because more time the theory don't add up to the practical.
Okay.
My wife does, we have little argument over this, little discussions. Like, I'm trying to show her that the theory and the practical doesn't make sense, because what the book is telling you and what I'm seeing in life is two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So I usually use life, everyday life, for my teaching, my learning. And I realize that in life, what you want is what you would get. But it's not just take it. Like some people say, most of them who have this thing they set up where you have to pay this something. It's right here. Come grab it. Come take it. You don't just go grab it and take it. They don't. They just make you believe that you just go grab it and take it. Because if you're not strong, you're not getting that there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not strong, brother, you're not getting that there. Because if I were not strong, I'm not sitting right here now with her.
Like, you're confident on steroids, it's like, how it going, and
I
go ahead,
just like to add one thing to that. I must say, from a woman's point of view, maybe almost all women, some qualities that I admired about my husband. He was very silent, but his silence spoke very loudly. He was very confident, yet still he maintained a mystery and it just drew me, because he was so quiet, but his presence was so loud. It's almost like I can feel him. And I always tell him, up to this day, at that time I couldn't articulate it, so I used to tell him, he being a Rasta and all, I used to tell him I was attracted to the bad boy in him. Now I can articulate that. I was attracted to in him. I felt secure. I felt this, after he kissed me, kind of thing. I felt like I can walk the streets. My children will be protected. I will be protected. Nobody's going to punk us. Because when you look at society today, and all of the things I was actually thinking about before I got into a relationship, I wanted to have a husband that I feel secure in. And I wanted my sons to have a strong father to look up to, and my daughter to be able to look for a man. These are the qualities, but I wanted it in real life, because I think children, for one, it's not what you tell them, it's what they see on an everyday basis. And what I saw in my husband, which was very attractive, is this man stood so silent, but yet still everybody would gravitate to him. He would go to a corner and the whole room would somehow find themselves in the corner without him saying a word. And that was very attractive. And he never tried to take the spotlight. And I love that. He always allowed me to just be me. So I just wanted to add that I felt his presence loud, although he was silent. Because you have a lot of men, they make a lot of noise. And that's very unattractive. I'm sorry. Because sometimes you make so much noise and you cannot back it. I feel very grounded with my husband now that we're married, and our children feels the same. And it's very important that a father shows a son and a daughter that concept in life. I'm sure most of you would agree with me.
I'm totally agree with you. That's awesome. Thanks a good decision.
He was handsome. He still is. He like fine wine. It just doesn't stop. It just does not stop, John. I get this man every day, like, why, honey? Why are you so sexy? Why are you so handsome?
I have a question.
Yes, honey.
Being around and when I say around counseling people, one question that I want to ask you. I hear your story and I love your story. But the question, have you been with somebody else before and then you take in love and experience from there and what you want now? Or are you like me, the first start?
Well, for me, I had a 13-year relationship before. And yeah, and you know, I'm looking back at it now. What I realized about that relationship is I'm responsible for everything that I allowed to happen to me. So but when I did get out of it, we were pretty young. And so I also understood we were not in a space where I wanted to be. We were not there. I was there, but my partner at the time wasn't. So it was a lot. And I had to come to that actualization and accept it, because then you're just going to blame the person and hate the person forever. He was younger than I am to begin with. And, you know, so we were not at the same place. And I didn't want the same thing for a long period of time that we originally wanted. I really just wanted what I wanted now. And when I got out of that relationship,
Okay. Connected. I think, yeah.
Oh, that's
exactly what I do want and what I don't want. And so as much as at that time, right, I think we gave it our best shot, but it just didn't work out. So by the time I met my husband, which my husband was like my second actual real relationship, I knew this is what I wanted. So I learned, and even the negative that had happened there, I took it and I learned, and I didn't allow it to filter into this relationship. And the positive that happened, we built. And what I want to say specifically, especially to couples getting together, because most people don't have that one in a lifetime partner, which is so cool. I always love hearing these stories. You really have to get to a place. No, my husband, this is what I would say. My husband allowed me to have a space, a very fertile soil kind of thing, to be able to deal with my past traumas. And I'll share a little story. I remember one time I accidentally called him by my ex's name. And, you know, I froze. And he said, you know, you've been with this individual for over 10 years, Trisha. We're just starting to get to know each other like that. And even at that point, because Mexi and I just got into an intimate relationship, your body, your mind, and your physical, everything comes together. This is the first time I'm getting into this space with him. But remember, I'm coming from a 10 to 13-year relationship in that space with an individual. And so what he did is he put me sit down. I'll never forget that. He said, you have to understand that this is going to happen and it's normal. But you just eventually...
Wow,
you.
wow. What a man. Hey.
You understand why I'm falling in love with this man every single time?
Yeah.
And
Need you on that show. Need you on this show on Wednesday night. You better come in.
No, I never heard that before. Listen,
all
But
I'm
get
going
that.
to say,
Betsy.
yeah, all I'm going to say is wow, because that does not happen.
I told you guys we have good men out there. We have them. I told
we
you
do.
guys.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Yes.
Text is a text always on the show if you're choosing it. You text always on the show. Unpack your bag before you go into a next relationship. And if you come into the relationship, make sure the person that you're coming with know who you are so they could deal with. You know the Bible said, and next year giving you a big profit, I've given 100 and 100 and 1,000%. The Bible said, dwell with them according to knowledge. He understood his role as a man in the house.
Hey!
God. When you follow Mexi as he follow God, you're in the right place. Here's a man put his seat on and let you know. My God.
That's a God man right there. Now
Yo,
you all hear it. There is good ones there. My God.
yo, I'll give you a thing on this one. I'll give you a blue on this one. Yes.
No, but on a serious note,
Yes. Wow.
I
Gentleman, somebody say a gentleman and a scholar. This
a
no.
lot of us speak up load that are things that they are what they are. It is what it is, and you just can't change it. But some of us pick up load to change it, and it just can't change. You know. So to me, when I look at life that way, I know life is easy to live. Like I said before, when I look at everybody, I see other people in the world, and why should I alone have 10 cars and nobody else have?
Okay.
I don't even know if that's grabalicious. I don't know how to, no problem. But once you see other people, then you know that are supposed to share. So you don't grab all, you don't take all. So, like, to me, my life is nothing about church. Everybody's version, and nobody looking into themselves to find the truth. Jah made us in his own image, in his own likeness. Nobody looking for deep within themselves to find the truth. Like, everybody would blame somebody. Nobody wants to take the blame. It's like Peter Thursday. Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. What's wrong with dying?
He's gonna get you to heaven.
Yeah, you can't go to heaven no die.
And still, we were told that we have to die to go in heaven, and then you go rise again. And you know, I'm not going against this thing. That some believe. I believe different, and I deal with the thing different. So life is kind of very easy to live. We just have to, and you can't live it too fast. You have to take your time. Take time. Take time, because you don't come a whole week and jump a whole month. You come 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and you go up to what they call the month. So you take your time. You know what I'm saying?
Brother,
you make mistakes, you know. Again, we make mistakes because life is full of mistakes. But
God, yes.
like I say, I prefer somebody make a different mistake with me every day than you're making the same one every day. You would annoy me. And I would have pity, and I would go through the next one you make and the other one you make, because it's a different mistake. So at the end of the day, you will reach somewhere, because you not don't park the car there, don't park the car there. No, don't park the car there today, tomorrow, take the cup from on the table, the next day, sweep the yard from where you're dirty there, and we're moving on, and I have no problem with you, but I can't
repeating the same.
There
yes. Wow.
That you really would annoy me, and that brings arrogance.
Wow.
You know? And everybody requires some sort of forgiveness. So I think, you know, we do the same. It's like I say, the 10 commandments, I don't even need the 10 commandments. Because out of the 10 commandments, you tell me let your heart rest upon 2. So if these 2 that my heart would rest upon is so dear, I don't think I need the other 8.
It's the one.
And the 2 they tell you is love thy God with all thy heart and love thy neighbor as thyself. Then if I love God with all my heart, I have nothing wrong to think or do about on my neighbor's side. So therefore, thou shalt not steal the coming in. You don't need to write that for me again. You don't need to write, don't watch your neighbor wife for me again. You don't need to write, don't kill again, because I love God with all my heart. This is why I was telling you there's a difference between love and infatuation. What people live with. Love has nothing to do with that. If you love God with all your heart, as they say, and love thy neighbor as thyself, then you don't need the others, because from your love God with all your heart, you wouldn't want to. Like, I love my wife with all my heart, so
yes,
I don't do nothing that would hurt her, because I think about how she will feel. I think about the pain because I love her. You see? So if you should love the Most High that much, how dare you try to hurt somebody else, and you know you say don't do that, that's going to hurt him, then you don't love the Most High.
Exactly. Wow.
So this is what I was saying, like, I don't even need the other. It is not, they don't really, you know.
You're so right, Mexico. This I ask him, which is the greatest commandment of all? He said, love thy neighbor as thyself, and love God, the only true God. That's what two things Jesus utterly changed, He took two and he left that to say these two. Love thy God, right? And loving neighbor as thyself. And that was Jesus. Wow.
That fulfill and include everything.
Yes.
When you don't need the thou shalt not steal and the covet and the, you don't need those things, because that shouldn't be no way around you.
Exactly. Okay, you have a mind of God, right? Functioning in God. Wow. But you know what? I really, really love the part, that sit down part where you put us and let them know it's okay. Because texts always say here, and there is 70% of marriage today ends in divorce, right? 70%, especially in the church. They say 50% of all marriage in the first 5 years ends in divorce. Okay? And they give 3 reasons. Top reason. There's more, but the top 3 was sex, money, and communication. And to me, communication caps everything. And when you go put your wife down and say, look, honey, I understand where you're coming from. It is normal. That couldn't happen. I'm good with that. We could keep on moving on with that, because you understand where she came from. And I oh my God, this is exactly how it should be done. And I'm so happy you guys wanted to talk about that, because it levels the playing field right there. So any man nowadays who's saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, here is Mexi, the teacher, the messenger.
I want to do it.
Today. That's a huge message.
Tex was asking me a question. Tex was asking me something.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, is this knowledge that you have now, is it coming from a first-time love, or it coming from an experience what to do and what not to do love?
My dear, it comes from a vast basket of experience.
Hey! But you're nailing this time, though. Hallelujah! What a man!
Very vast.
That's what I love to hear. Healing took place somewhere.
Yeah. It
wow.
You know what? Funny. When my wife used to be modeling, that time they had the Simon Pavilion and such.
Yeah.
I used to be scaling the wall, like climbing on the back, up with the back.
Next year, bad boy.
To go and see Trisha Grant modeling. I always climbing the back there, because at those days, we like little ghetto youths running around and things. Sometimes you have money, but when that time they reach, you don't spend this money already, hoping that I get it back, and you end up, but that don't stopping us. Yeah, because those days we digging crab. My grandmother trafficking, she go down Trinidad, we digging crab, we holding wheels, everything, and so no, holding the money. But as youth running around, the money will get entangled. So I used to scale the wall, the high spot we used to pass, Yeah, to go and see Trisha Grant and most shows, and then I used to always watch her, I watch her and I was like,
oh, the question, what wife?
Oh no, what kind of a wife you gonna make?
He did. Watch me one time some years ago and ask what kind of wife.
And those days we weren't close yet. Like I would be in Grenville and she walking through Grenville because those days she walking in the high heels and that's Miss Trisha Grant. Model. She off the stage, she on stage, she forever modeling. That was just her flow, you know. Yeah, you had that day I watched her going and I was like, how can I feel with me? You know? Yeah, it's funny, you know.
Wow. I'm loving this. My God.
I'd like to add one thing to that though, because a big part of it for me especially was my children. You know, I was really reluctant to get into any kind of relationship to begin with after, you know, my first three children pretty much from my former relationship. And so this is something I shared with him even as his best friend. And so I think he really got it. And something he really, and I can safely say this with the kids too, because we have a lot of conversations with our children. We communicate a lot. That's the key to any relationship, whether in marriage, business, whatever. And you know, you come from a relationship, especially we as women, we always come in with emotion and with baggage, regardless. The man could do, he could not do, we feel it. And so something I realized about Mexi at a very early stage in the relationship, and then we were able to talk about it, is he found a complementary factor from my former relationship, my partner. And he will tell the kids, you know, your dad is pretty good at this, or is pretty good at that. In spite of your mom and your dad may have issues or we may have differences, you know, he always complimented the father of my children. And I think even for them too, he had earned their respect, even maybe long before their love, so to speak. And because of the respect, eventually he earned their love. And I thought that was pretty honorable, because at that time too, my husband was very protective of me, and you know, it's easy for him to get into a toxic space with me if I'm there. But the strength he had and the way he was able to look at it, the situation, and take the positive out, and then we were able to share it with the kids, that was really a big deal. And even the kids, you know, would say that to me. And it also means that they intend, if ever they were to, you know, get into life where they have a relationship that's similar to what Mexi and I had, it also gives them a good foundation, as opposed to just not having a foundation at all. And so even when you look at, especially in the Black community, there is a lot of drama when it comes to, you know, baby daddies and baby mommies and all of that. But what Mexi and I try to really do together with the kids is not have that level of toxic in our relationship, because at the time I was coming in with 3 kids from my former relationship. He had 2 children from 2 former relationships. And, you know, then we had our 2 children. And that was very important that we make sure that part of our marriage was solid as a rock, because you have to remember children are very vulnerable. And my husband understood that. So we spent a lot of time, a lot of prayers, and a lot of patience trying to get that. And one of the biggest thing I can say that safely worked is being able to find complementary factors of, you know, whichever parent, trying to keep your emotions, no matter what happens, away from it, because at the end of the day, it's about the children. And my husband did say to me from day one, he said, I'm taking the whole package, Trisha. Wow. You know, it wasn't just you. I met you with your 2 children, and I felt equally the same. The very first time he introduced me to his son, Shimmy, he said, can I call you mommy? And I'm like, yeah. And that was it. And, you know, kudos to his mom. She did an exceptional job, you know, raising him as well. And he's such a wonderful soul. And, you know, my daughter through marriage as well. She's a little bit more reserved, but the moms and I, we have a really good relationship. Even my children's stepmom, we get along pretty well. And I know everybody's heart is, it's better for the children. And I want to emphasize this because there's a lot of Black families who think that, you know, it's always the ghetto side of it. That's not true. There are a lot of us out here who actually are intelligent individuals who come from, you know, different spaces in relationship, and we got to a space where it's workable with this particular person and we can make it work. And so my husband really did I really looked at him differently, you know, from that moment, even more again. And it was a very admirable quality.
Okay, so I have another question.
in coming into this relationship, did you come in with just your heart or you come in with the whole package? Because sometimes when a woman is leaving one relationship out of the heart, because the body will say, I'm done, is it, I'm over, I am going. But the heart does not leave.
Same time.
How did you manage to bring your heart together with your body into this relationship?
That's honestly because him and I were best friends. My heart was locked away. I was numb. I was not looking for a relationship, like serious sexual relationship. For one, I didn't want to have like a bunch of kids by a bunch of baby daddies. And here I am with three children from my former relationship. And I'm like, okay, that's it. You know, I pretty much thought that was it. But because him and I were best friends, I think he worked on that, not even realizing, because it wasn't a selfish thing. What he tried to have me do is heal myself. And he helped me as much as possible with that. He put me first. And I'm saying that because I keep trying to trim the man hair and slim all his clothes down and turn him into this completely different person. And you know, he's just there, just going along pretty much with whatever I asked, you know. But it was always to make me smile and to just get me to this place where I cannot feel fear anymore, because it was very painful. I just lost my parents too. And so I just thought, being very close to my parents, I thought that was it. Coming out from a relationship with 3 children, I'm like, that's it. I just don't want to do this. And but because he was my best friend, it's like it gave birth to the heart space, and it just bloomed when he kissed me, of course.
Hey, the heart moved in with a kiss.
You should have a song. When you get your first kiss, you get back on your head.
Oh, the heart ran. It came in. Because sometimes when ladies, for a man, I'm not too sure, and I want to take that on a wider spectrum. But when a woman leaves one relationship, the body moves, but the heart don't. That's why a lot of ladies leave relationships and go back and they get killed. Why? Because they go back with a full heart. They never go back with part. When a man moves, he moves in pieces. When a woman leaves, she leaves with she leaves the heart and she with the body. So when a man moves out, a man will move, but part of his heart is like, just one more night, and they'll go back, and then they'll leave again, one more night, and they go again. So that men tends to drag, but a woman will move and just suffer that heart until the heart ready to jog in. And this is what I'm always talking about on Wednesday night.
I'm loving it.
But that you have to come back in on a Wednesday night. So I will teach you how to move the whole heart. Because I'm going to bring my brother here, and he's going to be on, and we're going to teach men how to move their whole heart.
Yes, God. A time on your show text Wednesday night. Your show.
It's easy, man. It's easy. It's all knowing what you want, man. It's easy. I mean, if you want, but all right. In my lifetime, I mean, I played the game. You know.
Yep. Half and half.
Then I start having kids. And when I look at the size of my son, I realize he turning big man on me. Then if I should live the same life with like 2 blind mice, so who leading who? Because this life to live is a very fast lane, you know. This life to live is a very fast lane. A lot just jump in the lane and want to drive slow, you'll get flick up because it's a fast lane.
See how you answer that question? Because a man could be in a form of a man body, but the mentality of a boy. And I hope men is listening how he is bringing in the pieces, because that's the reason why you find men who are called men, they still play, because they're just in the role of a man, but not in the figure of the space of the man.
Wow. You know something? Somebody who make a contribution there, and I always see, even on our shows, And you guys is a very good example. I think Kevin make a very, very, very outstanding observation here.
Yeah.
He said just an observation based on the comments about how important communication is in a relationship. I noticed this a long time ago when I first met Mexi and Tricia, right? But I want to point it out for everyone else. Do you see how much respect they have for each other? When they are talking, no interruption, arguing, correction each other, just allowing each other to speak them, really accept and support each other all the time. And it is evident. Yeah. That's somebody who knew you guys or met you guys. No, it's not a facade you guys putting on. It's real life.
It is real. It is real.
Yeah, you see, again now, most people watch a lot of TV and a lot of movies, and try deal with life like a movie, but not realizing this is the realest one that you can fast forward and rewind. You understand? Most people, they watch so much a movie that they want to try things they see in movie, not realizing that they just fast forward it and rewind it about 100 times before they think they have it right. And you can't rewind in a real life, no time.
I know it now. The essence of Kanye the Messenger is profound. He's the messenger. Oh my God! I always talk to them. They tell me I must do a men's seminar. You gotta be there. Whenever I put this men's, I can't leave you out on that. You have to come to the men. You have to talk to the men. The pressure I mean to do the men's seminar. I'll talk about so much about things that you're talking about, and they say, John, Pastor John, tell me, Brother John, you have to do the seminar. You're talking about this main thing. You got to get it done. Now I have another partner in crime to do this.
I'd like to add something though, to be quite realistic about this whole real life fairy tale, as I call it. Please don't get us wrong. We agree to disagree a lot of the times. We just do it in a very respectful space. And I'll tell you one thing happened 7 years ago, and we just started dating. We had one argument. It was the one time and the last time. And it was really bad. And I think it's because I was pregnant too, so my emotions was all over the place, dealing with so many other dramas and issues as well too. And I remember, we're at this point where we are so mad and we're saying so many things. And he walked out of the house and I sat there and I'm like, whoa, I screwed up. I don't think I can make this work. And I was not expecting for what happened. It took a while, but he came home and he said to me, I'm sorry. I was like, no. He said, I'm sorry. And the argument was really heated. He said, and the other part is where it got better. He said, if we fight against each other here, what's going to happen to us out there? And we made a vow from that day, and that was 7 years ago, we will never disrespect each other. It's not that we wouldn't argue or we wouldn't get upset, but I don't see... I cannot understand what it is to tell this man to disrespect him verbally and lay down and say I love you and have him come into me or go into him. I'm sorry, I cannot understand that concept. And it's something he feels equally the same about. And so, as I said, it's not that we do not have disagreements. And we just do it in a very respectful place. And because I'm a female, and we are very emotional creatures, I just call Jesus when I'm getting like, okay, Jesus, girl, need to come now. And sometimes he'd be like, leave Jesus alone. No, honey, you do not want me to leave Jesus alone. But the thing is, I love him. What does love say to you? It's long suffering, it's enduring, it suffers all, it bears all. I love this man, and I look at this man, and God said, he is. When I look at my husband, and please, for some people who like to take what you say to twist it, let me just make this very clear. I'm saying what I mean. When I look at my husband, I see God. He's not the Almighty God. I see a representation of God. When I lay with my husband, even sexually, God gave me this vessel. And my body is a temple for God to dwell in. Now, apart from, of course, not wanting to have sex with a bunch of different people and whatnot, it is also very important that when he lies with me intimately, and sex is a very powerful tool. I'm not gonna have my husband lie with me intimately and pump negativity in his head. Oh, bust up this person head, or leave this person, or all that, or whatever the case is. I protect that space. And it's not always the easiest thing to do. Not that we have that sort of problem, but it's the way little things could come in to make that space very toxic. So our marriage bed is very sacred. And it's because I look at my husband as God. This is God says, I am representing myself through this man. And so how could I tell him use a this and use a this, or use a Mako, and all these derogatory words? I don't know. Could we say these words online? These derogatory.
You did.
It's just that I can't say the word, but
The Prime Minister,
I'm going to tell you guys why she used the word and she called him God. I'm going to explain, because I don't want for somebody to take it and twist it around. So I'm going to explain why she used the word God. You see, this circle is God on top, man in the second place, woman in third place, God is in the bottom. Because he did not remove himself where God have placed him, she has the right to say God. Because he understands his place. Now, if he move out of that space, she can call him all kind of twisted name that she want, and I will salute her. Call him that name. But he left himself in the space. God, man, woman, God. He stayed there.
Yes.
Hey, that's respect. So don't twist it and say she calling him God. Don't get me.
Yeah, they like to do that. That's okay.
So I'll fight for her.
Something I want to say because Mexi just make a big
something, John? One of the problems in life again, to be honest, the majority of the problem in life, we see it, people see it as big problems, and they are very small problems, very small problems, As I say, if you only look into yourself, you will see how small they are.
Right.
No, but one of the problems I see in life here is that we as people expect people to think like we do. And you have to be mad to expect people to think like how you do, because everybody got their mind of their own. You see? So it's okay for you to love her, and it's okay for she not to love you on her end. And she would have a reason why. She would have maybe a million reasons why, and you could have a trillion reasons why you should love her, but that's what you should do. That's not what she should do.
Right.
See? So expecting people to think as you think, and when they don't think like you think, you get a different result. Then you get angry, you start saying, but it's only fair. It's only fair. So you don't expect people to think like you. You communicate, and like I was telling my wife even this morning, you don't force energies to meet. Energies would meet. When you force them and they don't supposed to meet, the pressure you're forcing it, if any break you get, you go collide, mash up, something wrong. You don't force them to meet. Energies that supposed to meet will just come together. They would meet. Once it's not meeting, then leave it alone. You don't force it, because it wasn't supposed to be. It's not. You have to meet. You see, so all these little things and them. I mean, if you really sit down and check these little things and them, these are the problem in life, because we have no knowledge. We have no knowledge of the realistic part of life. You understand?
That's something that is profound. I always maintain this thing, that a man must love his wife as Christ loved the church. And Tricia said something that her body is the temple of the Lord. Yes? And Mexi she says she must God. Sarah called Abraham Lord because she saw the value in him, the God representation in him. And when this, I'm my heart, you can't see my heart right now, but it's jumping up inside of me really, really, really bad.
But without continue, as you said, like Sarah
called Abraham
Lord. But now, to me, as you said, it just flashed through my mind that even when you say God, you're speaking a masculine gender. Because when you want to talk about a woman, you say goddess.
Goddess, yes.
So if you say God, it's a masculine. It's a masculine gender. So, yeah. And he say make man his own image and likeness. So referring to a man as God, in the context you're referring to, I don't think it should be wrong.
No, I mean, God is God, you know, whatever it is. But what I'm saying, I just love the way that she represent and she accept you who you are, and you accept who
Yeah.
and that is what I love, because and it's no fairy tale. No relationship doesn't have an issue where they can't disagree to agree. And I tell you, I've married 11 years now, and I haven't had a fight with my wife. I remember one night I was on the radio station here, and I had to do something for her, and she asked me about the third note. I said, man, I'm coming just now. My daughter in the room listened to me shouting out that exclamation. Right? About 2 days later, she called me in the room and said that I want to talk to you. I said, what now? What is this all about you shouting out to mommy about? You understand? This is not you. What's happening? She know that this is not daddy. Why is daddy shouting out to mommy now? I mean, like, really? You can't do that. So, like I said, the children, they know who you are, and let me step out of line, they'll pull you back in line. You know what I mean? They will pull you back in line and say, this is not your daddy, this is not your mommy, change that, correct that. So I really appreciate, you know, Delbert, I know you're there taking notes, and I think you're in class today. You're in class today, Delbert.
Pastor Delbert is going to come on, sure, no problem.
Yeah, this is obviously not my area of expertise, but here's what I know, okay? One, I was fortunate to grow up in a very good family. And when Mexi was talking about how they assembled for meals, that struck a chord with me, because I had a very similar upbringing, you know. The only part I dreaded about that was the conversation, because when my mom sat at the table, we all sat at the table for every meal. She asked questions. You had to answer what happened to you today, how was school, whatever was going on. She needed to know at that point in time, and you had to. So that was a dreaded experience, because, you know, as a young man growing up with, you know, in a fairly large family, you know, I had 4 other brothers, almost, you know, we were all, 12, 13 months apart. So the competition was fierce. But I saw my parents love and respect each other every single day of their lives. And at my mother's funeral, I was chosen by my brothers and sisters to do the eulogy, and I spoke about that and how important that was for me as a young man growing up. And I noted at that point in time that with all the tools that my parents had given me, was significantly more educated than they were, I was not able to achieve so many things that they achieved so effortlessly. And I still to this day don't quite understand that. The quality that their marriage had, the quality in the friends that they selected for themselves, and just something that I've never been able to do. Now, when I was married, my life seemed to flourish. I don't know if it was because I was married or because I took marriage seriously. And I know Tracy has spoke about that a little bit. That once you get to that point, you realize that everything has changed for you, so that you are responsible for everything, you know. And when you add, when you extend the family to bring in children into that, then the responsibility is even greater, because now you're not just responsible for each other, but you're responsible for young lives that you're trying to mold, and you're trying to give them everything that they want. So it does take on added responsibility, and then it allows you, if you're a good guy, to step up and to put more effort into whatever you're doing. So this is what happened to me. I'm not you know, probably not in that space right now. I think that you know, hopefully I would get to that point. So when I listen to you guys speak first and foremost, and the person who commented, I think that was a really, really, really good comment. That because oftentimes in relationship you find somebody trying to dominate the relationship in a space that they're not equipped to do. But as she said, her husband sort of planted a fertile space within which she can continue her own growth and development, and in turn return that growth into the relationship and have the relationship grow. And I think those things are really important. I mean, I would say I would have experienced sort of episodes of that in my life. But again, having grown up in a large family, people would not probably believe that, but I'm pretty much of a loner. I like being by myself. I've been good by myself. I enjoy my own company. So I don't know how that works. But what I do know is that when I look at my own life and I look at the life that my parents lived, they were much happier than I was, and I have all the tools, many of which they never had. So how were they able to be so happy, so content, raise well-adjusted children, and live that quality life that I envision that I would have at a very young age? Because if you're growing up in a very stable family, mom and dad are always there, then you begin to want that also. And I remember for me, wanting that at a very early age, but not being able to. Probably I lacked the discipline. Probably, you know, a certain degree of recklessness that comes with as a young man. You know, I never had to worry about anything. I never had to worry about clothes, where the next meal was coming from. So I was pretty carefree about life. You know, if I was making $1,000 a month, I was spending $1,200 because I know mom and dad would always backstop me. So there was a certain degree of recklessness that came with that, and it probably went on for too long in my life. So, I mean, I think that you guys just have a remarkable story, and maybe you need to document it. You need to document it because that's how people who may be going through challenges of their own, who may have had disappointments in relationships, and maybe feeling that there's no person out there for me, or even more importantly, they may be currently involved in a relationship where they're going through some challenges, they're going through some difficulties, and probably needlessly blaming each other for it when not looking internally. And I think this is something that you guys have spoken about so eloquently, that you have always, when you acknowledge that you made a mistake, that you're willing to acknowledge that, you're willing to say sorry, you're willing to apologize to each other, and to look internally how much of that breakdown, so to speak, that you were responsible for, and whether or not you are able to make those sort of internal changes within yourself to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And Mexi spoke about that, right? He talked about he's not afraid of making a mistake. He just doesn't want to make the same mistake over and over again. And so often that is something that just keeps us down, right? Because we make the same mistake and we make a variation of it and a variation of it. And that really says that we are not taking stock of ourselves, right? We're not looking internally to grow. And the challenge for us every day is, how do we become a better version of ourselves? It's not about competing with anybody. It's all about that, you know, becoming a better version of yourself. And I think that one of the points that I was very keen on when you said that if you truly love somebody, okay, you don't want to hurt them. So every day you wake up and it's second nature for you. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to get up thinking, oh, I'm not going to hurt it, because that is embedded in your physical and emotional and spiritual psyche, that you have to do right by that person. And I think that is a really beautiful space to be in. I mean, it's just so you guys have to, you have to document it, because it's a real genuine love story. It's one of forgiveness, it's of understanding, it's of appreciating each other. It's about working together collaboratively to lift the other person up, and that's what great books are written about.
Wow. This is,
when people go out there and make the same mistake over and over and over, those are the hurting people that I talk about. Because they're not willing to step back and see where they're hurting and how they can get help. So because they keep this hurt very private, they make the same mistake all over again, all over, every day. They do the same thing routinely and not coming out of it. And those are the people that we're trying to reach. We're trying to minister to, especially men, because there is hope. There is hope for you out there. All you have to do is to listen and be willing to change. It's the willingness to change that make men stuck where they are. That's what God tells
by the way, Tricia, I was giggling when you talked about being attracted to the kind of bad boy image. That is normal for women, but it's actually not really about the bad boy image. It is about protection, because what women see in that bad boy image is somebody who is going to protect them, who is going to defend them, who is going to stand up for them. So it's not really about, oh, they're just attracted. They are looking, and especially, well, it can be on both sides of the coin, right? Because if you grew up with a father who was very protective and always there for you, you want that to continue in your life, right? And if you didn't have it, but you saw some of your friends who flourished because they had a father who was there for them, you also want that. So that's not so much about the bad boy. That's just about a woman wanting to feel that she has somebody who's going to protect her and is going to have her back. You know?
Wow. You're looking for a package.
Yes.
Pastor Daphne is here. Pastor Daphne is here.
Where?
Pastor Daphne made us comment here. She said, life is give and receive. A dual understanding that has been implemented between two people. A family structure must be created with objective. You have to build and maintain a lifetime relationship to succeed. And doing assessment of progress to improve and excel. The feeling is the spirit within you to understand who Creator is within that journey and priorities going forward. That was Pastor Daphne. We also have a show on this radio station every Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday morning called Community Dateline. Yes. So
somebody make a remark about Abraham. Sarah calling her husband the Abraham Lord.
Yeah.
And they use like the lower L. Yes, it is the lower L. We never it's never created an atmosphere of her calling her Lord in the capital. She understands his position. That's why I quickly draw I'm the center of God, man, woman, and God. Because she could call him Lord, not meaning that's of God. And I think we just gotta correct.
Well, I mean, anybody who doesn't understand that, I mean, they've probably not been totally honest.
Just a correction. It was just a correction. Probably they heard the word and they just made a correction, making us know they are aware of this.
But for instance, we call God King of Kings, right? He's the King of all kings. And in the same way, we call the man the king of the home. So there's no real There's no we call him Lord of all lords. So for the husband to be the Lord in his home or in his family, it is perfectly in keeping with the teaching.
All right. Can you explain what behind my back, Tracy, or next week?
No.
Explain this to me.
Oh, that.
Well, that's the name of our company which we launched, which means the world would know you. It's pronounced like Dwak.
Yeah.
What it does?
Our company is the name of our company, our mother company, which we put together. Its name is Dwak, which means the world would know you, my people.
Okay.
So
okay.
The DWWKU is just abbreviation for the world will know you, my people.
Okay.
All right. So it's
That's
no
our mother company.
All right.
And where's that store? Well, where's your company? Is it in Grenville or Gore?
Grenville.
Love Guava. You see what?
Yeah, under that we do the fashion, the music, the fishing, the agriculture, the motivational and inspirational speeches, and it's the mother company and the parent company, and we have other subs from that.
Let me just add a little to that. The walk is structured like a marriage. As you said, it's the parent company. Under the parent company, you kind of have like kids, and that again goes according to our business. The music, the fashion, the agriculture, tourism, fishing. So we came about this by a lot of prayers, and in life, in learning, we called it struggle back then. Now we understood it was lessons for where we were going. We were able to develop projects which kept us afloat financially, and we realized if we just keep developing them, they can easily be multi-billion-dollar corporations eventually. What people have the tendency to do in the business aspect is you'll do something, you make a lot of money out of it, and then let's say somebody offer you a job and you just forget that. But what we have come to realize is all of these small businesses add up at the end of the day. So what we do with the walk is pretty much, we have our children companies on there, which is our other smaller brands, but we also align ourselves with other organizations like Gem FM. Specifically, what we don't want to do is we do not want to take people's brand, their images away from them. It's just how could we come together under one umbrella and create something, bigger, better. And a large part of the walk was built on the structure of a marriage, this symbolic structure of two becoming one. So we are very much about family and building that legacy down, sort of reclaiming what we lost. I mean, I know it's just my husband and I and our kids, but I'm sure persons would understand and eventually gravitate. And so that's how we built the walk. It's also built on the love and the fear of God, music, fashion, the love of humanity. This entire company was built on the fact that we were able to find human beings throughout the entire inhabited world who helped us, because it was important for us to show people that we stand a fighting chance, no matter what they say. Love of mankind will always survive. Love will always win this battle. And the walk will always be a symbol of that, whether it's in marriage, it's in business, it's in forgiving a friend. And that is what that company stands for.
Very good, very good, very good. I'm just trying to put up some of your designs out there. Folks, Tracy is a designer, right? Fashion designer.
Yeah, that make a dress for me.
Let me make a second trip to Grenada again, text, right? Because all people who
yeah, we want to King Legacy you men out and put the glorious edge on the ladies, man.
Yes. So we have that, and I really do love the fact that the multi-facet of your operation comes together in one space. DWWKU, yes. The world will get to know you. We know you, yeah. And I love that because it sends a message out that we are here.
Yes.
We are here, and whether I like it or not, we are here, and we're gonna be here for a long, long time.
Yes.
And the joining of forces together, we're incorporating family. It's very important, because everything has a legacy, yeah. And it says, a righteous man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. Now, when we use the word man, it embodies the human being, yeah, both sexes, right? Human being, mankind. And what you guys are doing is building something that will represent the family in years to come. And it will filter down to fourth generation from you again, and them go down on a fourth generation. And you know something I always say, never reject knowledge. Never reject knowledge. Because any man that rejects knowledge, it affects not only him, but his generation thereafter. See? So it's important to have that knowledge base, to keep knowledge and to get knowledge, to seek it, you know, like a treasure. I could tell from both of you, your conversation here today, that you have sought after knowledge, you know, and have shared knowledge that you guys have come across and willing to share with the world your experiences, so they would not make the same mistake and they will want to follow in your footsteps like a Trojan horse. People just walk into that, you know. So I think it's important to note, folks, that the power couple, you know, Tricia and Mexi the messenger. And you know, today you said they call the messenger. Well, today, MFM will say yes, indeed. You know, you're truly the messenger. Yeah, Mexi the messenger. And I love. I mean, when your wife could compliment you and speak of you highly, it speaks for you. You know,
I had to sing the song. You are God alone. From before time began, you are on the throne, and you are God alone. And right now, in the good times and bad, you are on your throne, and you are God alone. You are unchangeable, unstoppable. That's who you are. That's my song. Because I can see God in the center of this.
Bless him.
He reigns, he lives still.
Amen. Amen.
so good. This is so good. Wow, the time we got 10 minutes left, and I want to go around the table. I want to go back to Delbert. Closing remarks, man. You know, I know you really living here full. I know you can't eat no food after today.
Pastor going to read his Bible today.
Listen, we're just coming up on the first quarter of the year, and we have had so many remarkable shows already this year that in my view, we have already surpassed the level that we accomplished in 2021, 22. All right. And this is in essence the third show that we are having with this couple, and everyone gets better. Okay. So you have certainly put us in a position or forced us to be better at what we do, to add value to what you are trying to accomplish, and to tell your story. And I'll say it again, and I'm seriously hoping, well, I know it's not hoping now because you did confirm that a big part of your upcoming contest is going to be about how you're able to vocalize what you're doing, not just for yourself, but for women across the Caribbean and across the globe. And I'm happy and glad, and I'm excited to have been a part of these 3 shows. Or Saturday morning shows are generally lighthearted and fun, and we're doing something. And the last 3 weeks has been built around depth and thoughtfulness and reflection and growth, and how as a people and how as couples people can always, because you spoke about that, finding at any given time the good in each other or in other people to enhance your humanity. And I'm just glad to be a part of that.
Texman Warren, you're up next. Your closing remarks.
I am so happy that we can actually sit here and give God all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise. Because we see in each of them that is not by themselves. Had not been for God in the mix of this, with their experience, they would have still come in broken. They would have still come in unsure. But God have a big part of that. And I really want to thank God for them and to let people know that this is not just a fairy tale, but is understanding who God is and the role that they play in the life of God.
Amen.
Remark.
Well, before I go to them, I want to play this song into your hearing. This one is called Celebrating Life, and they are truly celebrating life. This song is sung by the husband, Mexi the Messenger. Check this one out. What's going on here? I need some volume. Everything on? Not getting the volume. What's going on?
I'm hearing it here.
Yeah, I don't hear what's going on.
I'm seeing it here.
Yeah, but I need to hear the volume. I'm not hearing the volume.
Okay, let me mute mine and then I'll tell you.
What's going on? What am I not doing?
I'm hearing. You cut.
I'm hearing it.
Yeah. From in the house, or we can't hear, but outside we are hearing John. It's okay.
Did we lose John?
I'm here, just not hearing it.
Yeah.
Are we seeing the video?
We're hearing it though. trigger influence.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Thank you very much. I don't know what happened there, but are you guys hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Beautiful. I don't know why I'm not hearing any music. I don't know. I gotta hear what's going on there. But that was Meg to the Messenger celebrating life. And you know, I always say it's life that ought to be celebrated. Yeah, your relationship, your lifestyle, whatever you're doing, it needs to be celebrated. You know, and I think today is a really, really good day for me and for you and to our listeners. I think not quite often we hear about men doing what Mexi has done, you know, and really, really taking a deep look at building a really solid foundation, not just for them, but for the children and the children. And I think that come filter from the top down to them now, and they just do it that to pass the baton on to the children and the children. This is remarkable. Before we go any further, before you guys come back in, I just wanted to highlight the fact, I don't want Tracy probably in that part to talk about where persons can go on your website to for the pageant to really can go and lend their support to you. So talk to people about that. You can write in the chat so people know where to go and to get some points going into the competition. Talk to us about that.
Okay, so as I was saying earlier on, I am entering the Miss International Elegant Mothers Beauty Pageant. It's an empowerment platform for women, mothers, and it's a really great platform. It's happening in St. Martin on the 13th of May. That's the actual show date. Hopefully we'll be able to bring that live. I have a promotion on the page, and again, the page is Miss International Elegant Mothers Pageant. I will give John the link. If you can go onto that page and like and share my video, I get 10 points if I get the most going into the show. It's pre-judge. They're also going to put up some pictures as well with mother and children. Like and share that as well. We also have a GoFundMe page because it's a bit slow here in Grenada and we only have like 1 month left to the pageant. Please, you can help us support us any way you can. Feel free to donate finances as well. If there's something else you also want to donate when you think about pageant, please feel free to do that. So there's a GoFundMe link. I will send it to John. I'm not sure if I sent it already. And also like the page, support the page, the platform. Mr. David Williams out there in St. Martin, who's the director and owner of this organization and brand. His story is amazing, John. I'm hoping one of these days you can have him on your platform. He definitely inspired me, and from my point of view, entering the pageant has really evolved me in a short space of time so much, and I'm really grateful, and I'll forever be grateful. And I'm hoping women on the international scale would look at this, not just regionally, and hopefully it can empower them to be a part of the show. And as I said again, please help, support, like, share, check out our GoFundMe page as well. I'll give you all the links, and persons looking here can also share the links as well. We'd really appreciate that. I said in a couple interviews a while ago, Grenada is probably the smallest country I think that's taken part in terms of numbers. We look about we Talawa, and this is kind of why I'm stepping outside, because I'm very competitive too, by the way. I'm not, even if you have to beat me, I'm not making it that easy. It's like the angel that wrestled with one of the prophets. You're gonna get a run for your money. So I'm reaching out to the international market, not just as Grenada, but women on a whole. Strong, amazing, vibrant, fashionable women. The new generation, Proverb 31, so to speak. Help us like and share.
Great, wonderful,
Okay.
wonderful.
All right.
Delbert is going to say something.
No. I'm just endorsing
Okay.
what she said and how she put the sort of Grenadian lingo to it. You know, and I love the fact that she said, if you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to earn that. You're gonna have to work for it. You know, it's not gonna come easy. You're gonna have to come with your A game 24/7. So I love that fighting spirit. You know, so yeah.
I just want Delbert to know the picture. I'm not went around. Well, and with the song, I know the area that they were in.
Oh boy.
I didn't know that alley. I'm sorry.
The fish. Okay. I know the alley that he got the fish when he come off the dock. There is an alley there. I know exactly where that alley is.
Are you saying that we should give you back your passport now?
Of course, you can give me back my passport. And he was standing by the white picket fence. That fence and was where they had all the ex-prime minister was lined up there with big pictures.
Oh
yeah,
boy.
is it?
Oh yeah, she got it. She got it. It's not your passport.
John, she's going all Grenada on us this morning.
Thanks enough. You're not getting the Jamaican proof. Stamp of approval to go back to Grenada anytime. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm hoping to be down there soon.
It's from Williamson Road, and they only had one breadfruit tree on that street. One breadfruit tree.
Yeah, 3 breadfruit trees.
Three breadfruit trees. One female and 2 male.
Whatever.
Texas, you know, pass. You can go to Guelph, go to Sutter's.
Yes. I was gonna get back to her that I heard she proudly mentioning Guelph and Grenville and Sutter's. You know, now I'm gonna have to have her as my tour guide because it looks like she knows more about Grenada than I do. So.
She made it to Grenville, and she get to sit at Cookies Pastry Delight in Grenville, and she didn't bring up one groundnut sugar cake for me, not even one.
Let me confess my sins. I told him if he give it to me, it would not reach the plate.
I like that.
I would have eaten it and then come here and wipe my mouth clean. I don't say a word to him, but I'm so good. My conscience beat me to the punch. So
that's good. That's good.
In closing, I want to just highlight Tercia's work. Tercia's work. There's a few pieces that we didn't talk about last time he was here that I still wanted you to talk about. Here, this piece, the couple with Mr. Green. Here they are. I'll probably put it over here so we can talk about that and this thing here. So text will able get an idea of your great work. Yeah. So here it is on. Yeah. Let me just remove my background. In that piece to text and everybody else. So yeah. This is the piece. Go ahead. Take it away.
That is Simon and Deirdre Green. This couple has been so inspirational and such a grounding force for my husband and I from the beginning of this whole journey. They have been there. They have, oh my God, they are just, you think you love Mexi, and I hope to see one of these days you can interview Mr. and Mrs. Green. They are so great together, and just looking at her smile and his smile, I'm telling you, this is genuine. He has a bit of bearings in Canada as well. But also, they were one of the couples that modeled for me. And I have a lingerie line too. By the way, that line took me years in prayer. And anyway, when I came out of it, pretty much what my husband and I decided was, so that's the black picture. We wanted to do lingerie because, of course, it's very important for husbands and wives to get to that space. But we also was very understanding that this is husband and wife. And of course, because we are on the platform as God-fearing people, we understood the criticism would come. And so we had to get to a point where our conscience is very clear. So one of the things we decided with the lingerie is that my husband was saying he's not going to endorse people who are not married to do the photo shoots. So it's something we specifically decided to rebrand for couples. And it's to help empower, to bring you closer, you know, and these couples have really great stories that we're going to share eventually with the world when we officially launch that lingerie line. We just sort of push the lingerie and on all the different, we have 7 different lines. So the lingerie is one of the lines, and that line again is it's specially designed around inspiring couples, marriage, whatnot. And this is Mr. and Mrs. Green, who was very comfortable doing this shoot. I wanted to keep it sexy, elegant. I wanted to also show, you know, her beauty, her femininity. I wanted to show his masculinity, yet still being able to embrace her, you know, softly and everything. And you can look at this photo and see, you see a lot. You don't just, it's not just probably raw sex, because a lot of lingerie sells that. But when you look at those photos, and there's a couple others, you'll see a story, you'll see passion behind it, you'll see womanhood. And I really loved working with them as a couple. The other picture in the green, Mrs. Green has Indian heredity in her. And so I wanted to sort of bring that to life. And her husband, Simon, he's really a fashion forward and conscious person. I believe they met within a fashion show, and he has an amazing story of how they met. Oh my goodness, it is to die for. And so she did a little bit of modeling back in the day as well, and she's an amazing mom. And I just wanted to bring that to life. I wanted the life in it, which is one of the reasons we chose the green. And this was some specific fabric that they actually had, and I really wanted to work with it because when I looked at the color and I looked at their personality, especially as husbands and wives, they are so beautiful together. And we wanted to put that out there. And of course, Simon himself, being such a fashion forward male, you know, he's always up for the creatives and he's always pushing it. And, you know, they were really pretty much an inspiration to us. Henceforth, the gold ring around it, that symbol of marriage being so beautiful and wonderful and sparkly.
I love that. Simon and I did martial arts together in Grenville in one hot rock disco place there. We was training together back then. He was still a young man coming. I think he was 15 years old or something like that, 15 years old when we were doing martial arts together with Humphrey and Chicken and those guys and them. So we worked together before. So when I saw him there, I say, wow, you know, and I follow him on it as a tour guide in Grenada as well.
Yes, he has an amazing tour company.
The young man the man he had become, know him, very humble young man growing up. So I knew him well. The other piece I want to show here, we didn't talk about last time, is this piece of you. Here, there's two pieces of photos here. And I saw Mexi, I think he was doing something with your shoes on the other one, in that same Miss Grenada one. I love that when he was listing your shoes or doing something to your dress in the bottom, something there. Tell us about this Miss Grenada gong, that gong you have on there. What was the concept, the mindset behind you creating that piece for you?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to the photographer of this picture, Mr. Dennis Charles. He was so inspirational that day we were doing the shoot. He actually shot that for me. The concept behind that picture it was really deep. When I was approached for the pageant, when I got the opportunity for the pageant, I am not the type, I didn't think I was the type of person that was, you know, ponytails and that sort of girly person. I feel like a warrior on the inside. And I always say this unapologetically. I feel strong, and I wanted to represent that in my photograph. I did not want my picture to represent something of a misconception of who I was. And so I also love the Ephesians 5 scripture, and where it talks about the full armor. Also, there is a little bit of skin, as you can see. And again, being in my field of work, you know, you're always going to have room for controversial thoughts.
Yes.
But that was really deliberately done for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is I'm a woman and I own that space, and I am not afraid, and persons cannot decide for me what that means. And whether my expressions are premature or well thought through, this is a conversation that apart from my husband and I will have with God. And if he has to reprimand me, I will do so gracefully. And so that's what that picture represents. Also the afro, I really just wanted to be myself. Don't get me wrong. I love getting dressed up and putting on the extensions, but I am very comfortable in my skin. And I wanted to show women that you can do that. The eye colors, you know, it was all deliberately done. And then you have the softness of the accessories. What I said about that is, you know, it's a pageant. So you have that sort of, you know, elegant touch to it. And of course, the background was Grenada. And so that's all the thought process that went into that picture. And the video you saw, my husband was strapping me up because, you know, he, of course, he is my chaperone on this journey as well. And that again is deliberate. And it was just when he was doing it in that moment, I felt as if he was getting me ready. And this is just symbolic to life, you know, like armor up, queen. This is a battlefield and I'm going to make sure you're strapped in. And I stood there, a proud wife, a proud mother, a proud representation of my country and everything together. And I believe that Mr. Charles actually nailed it in that shot. The other shot was done by Michael Straley, along with the other two that were showed before. Michael Straley is somebody we have worked with from day one. He was kind of the one who found me in the rough, like, you know, that diamond in the rough when it comes to the fashion, and really pushed me into this because I was trying to run away from it. And again, this one, you can see strength, you can see empowerment, you can see that I'm owning my space. And then you see the modernization a bit with the jeans, and you see the African touch. And so I just wanted to bring all of that in together. And we come from the Caribbean, right? And you have a lot of these controversial things going around where, you know, organizations, countries, whatever it is, you know, they all have their specific laws. We're in Grenada, we're in the Caribbean, it's hot. Logically, we are going to wear tubes and tank tops and those stuff. It does not make you a bad person. If your conscience tells you you shouldn't be doing this, it's a whole different ballgame. But this outfit is supposed to appeal to the young, the middle, and of course, you know, the age. And I think it really did that. It has the long coat, it has the little tube, there's the modern day jeans, and of course there is that striking pose of race. I particularly pose like that because I see life as this, as my husband says, we're long distance runners. We have to run this race you call life, and we do so fashionably and elegantly.
You know, and I hate talking about it because, you know, the Pro 41 woman was always a seamstress here. She's a designer, she trading in fine linen, you know, all this stuff. And I'm watching that and hearing you, I'm thinking like, man, but when you explain these other two pieces for me, and not just for me, but for the world, take these two pieces up, guys. This is two fabulous pieces. Again, that's people who wear those clothes, you don't have no make it just for the goodbye. You know, that's people's clothes. So let's start with the lady on with the white.
Okay, so the lady with the white was actually her design I brought to life. It was not my design, it was her design. I added the straps a little bit and the glove, but this is a customer who wanted a specific outfit that she saw in a book. And of course, I can just about manipulate every single outfit you can bring to me. And she wanted it for, I believe it was an event, it's called Lush. So this is her design I actually brought to life. The other photograph is of our beach line. I do swimwear and resort wear as well. And I love the colors. The model at the time, I thought it was really complimentary. The both models there, the light skin and the brown skin, beautiful models, wonderful personality. And the background, we chose it because I found it was really good against the fabric. It was on the beach, so there was like an actual whole photo shoot with this. Again, this was one of the shoots that Michael Straley did for us. And the swimsuit was actually made to complement, you know, some women, they have they would like to cover their area, stomach area, or they like it pulled in. So the swimsuit is made in a way that it has like a 3-layer that pulls you in if you're a bit thick around there or you just want to cover it off. The top piece of that same swimsuit as well is catered for in case you actually want to wear a bra. Because, you know, when you go to the beach, sometimes some people are very self-conscious of how they look. And so I did put all that thought process into it. And then you'll see the little bow on one of them hair. It's just a girly fact. And sometimes you just want to be girly. And some people, of course, as well, they don't like too much clothing on the beach. but I also wanted to keep a border because there is something as too little. And so I think that other one kind of really represents the, you know, that borderline where it's not too scanty, but it's just sexy enough. And of course, the brown one, it was just a fashion statement. There are some females who just love to go to the beach or the pool area just to be fashionable. They don't necessarily want to get into the water. So that's what that brown one was all about. And we chose the rustic background because I thought it was complementary to the tone of the swimsuit and the model herself. She has that sort of feeling about her. And again, Michael really did an amazing job in bringing that to life.
Great. I
Piece.
which piece you like, Tex?
The brown.
The brown, yeah.
Tex love the brown piece. Yeah, I also there's a piece I'm looking for. Another swim one. Oh, this one I didn't shoot this one last week. I didn't like one last week. This one. Tell us about this Sahara looking one, the Sahara desert looking one. I call
this
that's my Sahara piece.
Yes, this is Valine Ned. She is a soca artist in Grenada.
Yes.
And so we wanted something, we were looking at the colors and we thought the colors were so beautiful, but the fabric was really complicated to work with. But I was determined to find a fashion for it. And we thought about the hoodie. I wanted the top to not be very exposed because the slit is adjustable, by the way. You know, as it says, we live in this world, we're not a part of this world, but the fact is, as a designer, you design and people do what they want to do with it. It doesn't matter if you put a slit or not, they're going to cut it if they want to. And so you have the adjustable slit zip that it brings the slit down or it brings it up, whether it's for convenience or whatever your choice is. And we put the hoodie in the reason I put the hoodie in this is because it covers you a bit more than just leaving it like tubeless, because you already have the slit going on. And I think with the slit going on and then the tubeless, it was quite a lot. And we wanted to utilize all the colors and the fabric because it's, as you can see, it's really beautiful. And so that was she's an amazing, oh gosh, she is such a talented artist and a wonderful soul.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment on the one of the other swimwear, the other lady to the right of the screen there. Have a look at you as your mother in her earlier years, going to SARS.
So this one was one of my very early designs when I started out designing. She was a model and we had to create this piece. She had a magazine to do and they wanted something of a Grenadian, the actual flag. And so trying to get the concept, I wanted to get the concept and get all the elements without having to cut it up and, you know, you're missing it and it has to stitch. And that's the reason I found this specific pattern. Again, for the persons who like to go to the beach, who don't really have a problem with showing a little skin, this is sort of one of those for them. We also have a different line to this where it's a bit more for a person who is of a conservative nature, but this specifically was built for a calendar and the outfits were to represent Grenada.
That's my final piece is coming up right here.
Oh, that is my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little, I call her my little big sister because 18 years after I got a new sister. And so she wasn't my little sister anymore. That's Honey. The reason I chose this because our mom is Indian, our dad is Negro. And I wanted to show the margin of the two ethnic backgrounds. And I love the colors and colors also look really great on my sister. And I love working with her, not just because she's my sister, but she's also I look up to her a lot as a young mother. She's somebody who inspires me so much. And I just had to say that and share that. And I just wanted to bring that out. And that's one of the reasons I chose the colors. I think she's such a wonderful person and we need to see more than that. But she's also a very strong person. So you have the tendency to see the strongness in her a lot of the times. And I just wanted to show that side of her, that really colorful, beautiful place that, you know, as a sister, I always get to share with her. And we did that photo shoot at Belmont Estate. It was Roland Gilbert who did that shot.
I love the fact that you use a lot of natural background, natural lighting to bring out your pieces. You know, this is really, really good. And I love it. I hope one day I will have to come to Grenada, probably take a boat ride with Mexi, you know, and have some fun on the water, you know. What I still like Fisherman Buddy and Grammar. I went to the old church school, right?
Don't fix the background.
Yeah, I'm going there. To the old church school, just up the street from the White Lime. Yeah, I used to be there, and there's my picture. My picture. I'm fine. Let me pull the one up. Yeah, I went to the old church. So we used to always lunchtime. We used to go get the bread by Mr. Gaiman, get the bread there, and go and sit on the manjini trees and eat bread, hot bread and butter right there. So I grew up in that area, going to school. We used to play hide and seek behind the bakery, behind the lime kiln, right there. So I grew up in Trenchtown there, going to school there for a lot of years before we move up the hill. The Fisherman things will always be a thing for me. So I'm looking forward to meet Mexi and Greta to have some boat ride too. I'll probably get some ocean gear one day. You know, I just have to get some good fish, bro. You know. So yeah, I really do appreciate you guys coming here today. Any closing words for you, Mexi?
Yeah, well, once again, you know, want to give thanks for the invitation and the warmth, the love. Seems like family, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I want to give thanks for again having the confidence and believing in us, you know. I want to again remind people that they should put the Most High first, you know. Because remember now we say seek Him first and every other thing. So that details to me every other thing, details every aspect of your life. Where your wants, your need, your security, and everything would be taken care of because he never specified anything. He said every other thing, you know. So we need to really put God first, put the Most High first, and remember that it's not about giving him money or giving him. It's just giving him thanks and praise and having a clean heart, doing good. You know, it's just about doing good and. To all the couples out there, maybe married or unmarried, trying to get together, it's, you know, have patience with each other. Have patience and communication. You have to communicate. Me and my wife talks about everything. To be honest, if I go on the road and I find a lady staring me, I'm going to tell her, say, watch, I see this girl, I don't know what, you know. I don't know what it is about. You know, I mean, we talk about everything. There's no secret that we have. You know, we share one phone for almost a year and a half, 2 years. One phone.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. Wow. This is remarkable.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean.
Wow.
If you meet me and want to talk to me, I'll give you my number. If you want to call me, I'll call me. My wife doesn't have to be my wife doesn't have to be absent for I to talk to her. What do we have to talk about? There are boundaries. You know what? If you call for a business, you call to talk business. If you come as a friend, you will talk friendship. We build a friendship, a friendly relationship. We say, you know. So we have to understand life and everything. I just want everybody just to take time off and don't live life like the fast bus, man. You go miss the passengers. If you're racing bus go down, you will miss passengers through the lane. No passengers coming down through the lane, you won't see them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the man coming down taking his time now and reverse and watch up the lane there and say, not John coming down there? John, you're going down. John say, yes, man, hold on, you have 3 more in the back coming down. And then when you reach down in the terminal, all the rest are run down, reach down, say you're walking bad. And you're sleeping your bus, you're bathing your bus, you're doing that, but you're taking your time and walk, so you have time to see.
Right.
That's why I love one drop in music, because it gives you time to rock and still bring the message.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So we just need to take the life one day at a time, because that's how it comes.
Yes.
No sense trying to live it 3 and 4 days ahead and fast, because and then the same book tell you don't worry about tomorrow. It comes with its own anxiety. It comes with all the problem come tomorrow, but you don't even know if you're going and see that problem and you're catching heart attack on your bed before the problem arises and it's not yours. Wow. The problem that arises is not yours. So people always just keep it conscious and just put your first, man. Let everything that have blood pressure, everything all right. I can guarantee, I can testify, I can show, and And mind you, I can't tell you the last day I go to church or these things. I don't do that. I have no apology. I don't do that.
All right. No,
you know, but the way of life is different. You know, and God, the Messiah is individual. You know, so let's just keep it real, man.
Wow. Well, Mexi and Tricia Grant Lewis, I'm telling you, I had not just a airful, a mouthful, a body. You know, when Peter just want to wash his feet, and he said, no, not my feet. I say, if you don't wash my feet, you can't be part of me, right? And they say, well, wash my whole body. You want a whole body wash? I get a whole body wash today. You know, you get a whole cleanse, you get a whole message. I mean, it was an empowering day for me. I could sleep for the rest of the day now comfortable. I tell you, I didn't know what to expect from the interview today. I just let me have an open mind coming here. And I always love for my people to speak from the heart. You know, don't ask them any trip-up questions, but ask them for what they say. Don't look for questions to ask them, but ask them from what they said. And I think today we have done a remarkable job on doing that, having you guys to speak your truth. And your truth is life. And it brings life to a lot of people today. I'm telling you, my life, text life, or think about life, you know, we spoke about on our shows. We first time out of me, some people listen to me speaking on the radio sometimes saying, oh, this guy probably, you know, how he keeps speaking like he's so perfect. I'm not perfect. I always say that I'm not perfect. I'm not the best husband, I'm the only good husband out there. And today I know there's another husband like me out there. Yeah. People on the show will say, but
it's all being yourself. You know, before we go, it's all being yourself. When people see you, you're supposed to what you see is what you get, because there's only one like you.
Only one.
You wouldn't find it under no fingerprint or nothing. There's one like you. So you just have to be yourself and be real.
Yes, man.
You know what I mean?
I must add to that, John. When he come home and tell me the ladies watch him, I just tell him, well, obviously, every morning I wake up, I watching you every night. What do you expect? They're just seeing you maybe for the first or second time morning, they're gonna look at you.
Yes, you know, it's true. And you know, I share this every so often. I was saying like almost every day, sometimes I think about my wife and I'm working and I write a poem. You know, just write a poem and say to my wife, just something that we can do. I'm still about her. You know, and I think it's important for us to do that. Tell the person that you wait to love them. Show them that you love them. Don't just talk about it, but show them that you love them.
What do for mine? I cook lots of meal, good meal, a lot of different meals, different dishes. Food will do for mine. That's how I say I love you. I give her food.
And I accept it.
Yeah, I cook all kind of food for her all day. You know?
Right. There she go, and she loves to eat. So
yes, man. Yes.
Not a problem at all with that is concerned. Well, I know she have a favorite song. As we come to the end of the show, I got another show at 3 o'clock with Mr. Raphael Paul from Sunset City St. Mark's, Pablo. Today on at 3 o'clock. I'm still working on the magazine with the Prime Minister on the cover coming out soon. We're going to have that ready. But I am also getting ready to go. So I have to go to Ola's Kitchen, guys. If you live in Toronto right now and not at Ola's Kitchen, let me get it before it. I have to get some oil done today at Ola's Kitchen. So go out there. 477 People Avenue, just behind 610 Vaughan Road, where the studio is. Just go there and text. They love you there. So I don't know if you come and get
John, I find that's very selfish. And you see what is in my hand. That is so selfish, John. That's all I'm saying.
You know that this lady have a stone for me, eh? Every man, this stone is not for nobody else but for me. You know? But yeah, so come on down to Ola's Kitchen, and next week I think they're having some Friday night activities going on from 10 free before 12 o'clock. So come on down next week Saturday night at Ola's Place. You'll love to have a good time. Food and drinks be all there. So ladies free before 12 o'clock. All right. So I'm gonna close with this song, guys. I want to thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys being here. I love the time that we spent together. I felt like around tables, family talk. I really did enjoy that today, and I know that the people viewing enjoy this show today. They love it. I could tell by the comments in the chat, and those who are watching later on, I know they will talk about it forever. This would never go out the way it came in. It would go bigger and better. I said, don't try to make a wave, make a ripple, and watch what happens. Just make a ripple, and it turns into a big wave. You don't have to make the wave, make the ripple, and the wave will take care of itself. And I think it just made a ripple today, and it'll create a big wave. Just watch that. Trust me. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life. It changes everything. And I wish you great success, Tracy. I know you're gonna be back here again. Before the competition. You'll be here several times again, both of you. So I'm expecting you guys to be back on different things. Because Tex is Wednesday night. And I'm on behalf of Tex, she's here, but I will extend an invitation for you, Mexi, to join her Wednesday night. Tracy will be with us on Tuesday night. Tex, you do with men, most of our shows do with men. At perhaps she on the
what time is it Wednesday night?
2 o'clock.
8.
Yeah. 8 o'clock Wednesday night. Yeah. So if you could you could join Tex Wednesday night with the same link. Delbert, I know you could come in and join us Wednesday night. Tracy will be with us tomorrow night. Tuesday night with the Developing Intimacy in Marriage. We'll be here again talking about domestic violence in marriage. And Dr. Pierre will be on Tuesday night with us. Dr. Pierre has done a lot of data collection on domestic violence, human trafficking, sex trafficking through the Caribbean and Asia and all this place. So you have a wealth of information on sex trafficking, and I want Tracy to be here. I mean, part of even when you go to a competition, we will talk about those stuff, because those things that issues that is happening around us. Some of us don't know about it, and some of us just hearing about it, and it's really happening. Sex trafficking, even in Grenada, is a big problem in Grenada that is undercover. It's covered, but it's boiling over. The lid is slightly opening now, but Dr. Pierre has had a lead on all these things. He knows what's going on. He's interviewing people doing the trade and people who are in the trade. So, the buyers and sellers, all of that. So I'm gonna thank you guys again so much. Delbert, you guys should say something there.
No, just I'm, like I said earlier on, very grateful to be part of this conversation. This was very, very illuminating, and it's always, sometimes as a panelist, you think you come on and you have all this knowledge, but it is refreshing when you can come to this kind of conversation where you actually leave being a better person or learning something from your guests. And this certainly what happened today. So I'll see you on the radio tonight, my brother.
All right, yes.
And to the lovely couple, continued success in everything that you do. Blessing to you and your children.
Thank you. Thank you, bro.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Tex.
Love.
Give thanks.
One love.
It's gonna make you weak.
My Lord, this one is gonna make you so very weak. I see you living a life of selfishness with no love for humanity. You no care for no one else. Do what you want to do when you want to do. Take what you want and call it yours and say that's no mistake. Pressure in your children, tell me how much can we do? Sometimes when we a smile and travel, no say it's fair. The pressures and the pain you sure are you alone with sick, cause this one is gonna make you weak in the knees. My love, this one is gonna make you so very weak in the knees, yeah. I see mothers against daughters, fathers against sons, brothers fighting sisters. My God, when will we learn? How much more we got to see? Very soon the time will come when all wickedness must go down and righteousness must come around. Well, I see little children making babies, and the youth them lost them respect for the elders. And every youth you meet them tell you them a gangster, and if you ready them a bit shot it will fire. I want to this every youth man heart desire. But someone pray, teach them to pray, teach them to pray. This one is gonna make you weak. Father, we just give you thanks and praise for all the years, months, weeks, and days you have guided us, showed us your mercy, your love. We give you praise. Father, we give you thanks for rising up this morning, for health and strength and life so we could go forward. And though the road is rough and the journey is long, but we got to take our time just to jump this one. So if you live in life and you love this life, then just give thanks for life, cause everything's alright. Let God be by your side as your shield and guide, and everything's alright. So let we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. No bother bad mind your brother, no bother bad mind your sister, living. Give thanks and living. Father, we give you thanks for all that you have done. The good times, bad times, times that we had fun. So many mistakes we've made, but we have learned. Now it's our time to give you praises in this song. So if you live in life and you love this life, then just give thanks for life, cause everything's alright. Let God be by your side as your shield and guide, and everything's alright. So let we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. No bother bad mind your brother, no bother bad mind your sister, living. Give thanks and living. Father, we give you thanks for every lesson learned. Sometimes it was rough, but it made us strong. But mind them the wicked we have overcome. So now we give you praises as life goes on. And now I'm living life, cause I love this life. I give thanks for life, and everything's alright. I've got you by my side as my shield and light, and everything's alright. So then we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. No bother bad mind your brother, no bother bad mind your sister, living. Give thanks and living. Celebrating life. Father, we just give you thanks and praise for all the years, months, weeks, and days you have guided us and showed us your mercy, your love. We give you praise. Father, we give you thanks for rising up this morning, for health and strength and life so we could go forward. And though the road is rough and the journey is long, but we got to take our time just to jump this one. So if you live in life and you love this life, then just give thanks for life, cause everything's alright. Let God be by your side as your shield and guide, and everything's alright. So let we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. No bother bad mind your brother, no bother bad mind your sister, living. Give thanks and living. Father, we give you thanks for all that you have done. The good times, bad times, times that we had fun. So many mistakes we've made, but we have learned. Now it's our time to give you praises in this song. So if you live in life and you love this life, then just give thanks for life, cause everything's alright. Let God be by your side as your shield and guide, and everything's alright. So let we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. No bother bad mind your brother, no bother bad mind your sister living. Give thanks and living. Father, we give you thanks for every lesson learned. Sometimes it was rough, but it made us strong. But mind and the wicked we have overcome. So now we give you praises as life goes on. And now I'm living life, cause I love this life. I got it thanks for life, and everything's alright. I got you by my side, cause my shield and light, and everything's alright. So then we have a good time, celebrating life, living. Give thanks and living. No bother bad mind your brother, no bother bad mind your sister living. Give thanks and living. This is for my people, yeah. Now wake up, my people. Open your eyes. Stop living this life so carelessly. Stop living blind. Do we really believe only if we see? There's no wonders, no sign. I should do it till the earth start crack open. Sun stop shine. Now wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Wake up and live. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Things are not always what they seem. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Oh yeah. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. For too long we've been living in bondage. It's mentally. Take away the chains from our hands and our feet. Tell us we free. But yet they want to control our lives, our destiny. But do our best to hear will hear. Do our best to see will see. So wake up, now wake up, my people. Wake up and live. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Things are not always what they seem. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Oh yeah. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. For what has been hidden from the wise and the prudent shall be revealed unto the babes and the sucklings, Lord. What was been hidden from the wise and the prudent shall be revealed unto the babes and the sucklings. Then if you know what that means, wake up, now wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Now wake up and live. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Things are not always what they seem. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Oh yeah. Wake up, now wake up, now wake up, my people. Now wake up, my people. Open your eyes. Stop living this life so carelessly. Stop living blind. Do we really believe only if we see? There's no wonders, no sign. I should do it till the earth start crack open. The sun stop shine. Wake up.
Yes, wake up, my people. This was Gem FM and the DWWKU. Do what? The world will know you. That was the message today. Really, the world will know who you are. Yes, by the fruits you shall know them, and the fruit is bearing fruit. The tree is bearing good fruits, and you can't do any better than this when the tree itself comes from a tree of life. Yeah, man. That's how it is. That's how it rolls. The economy rolling that way, making it happen. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you guys here today. And looking out for bigger and better things from this power couple out of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Yes, the Lewis family. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege being here today. I take this and I will go with it wherever I go. This family will be the family to look out for in this time. Yes, they are. So check them out. All right, Mexi the Messenger and Tricia Grant Lewis, fashion designer and Miss Grenada. All right, one love, my people. God bless you and make you a blessing. I'm out of here, and I just love this song. So this is for both of them. They're such in love. I just loving this story. Here it is. Probably could dance to that in their private time, my lover.
Have a good time. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time.
My lover, I have to mention in my confession to you, my lover, and must discuss what we should and shouldn't do. Good relation is a relation based on trust. My lover, we too jealous and suspicious. It's outrageous and ridiculous to see we messing up the mind. See how we messing up the mind. I tell you no.
Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time.
My lover, I used to worry about you having a second hand. My lover, as if to help me fulfill my duty as a man. You know we're tripping, we're really stupid for true. My lover, it's so amusing to hear abusing and accusing. It's so confusing. I know they're messing up in mind. Oh, I know they're messing up in mind. My lover, my lover, my lover, my lover, my lover, my lover.
Let's have a good time.
No.
Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time.
My darling, no. No.
Let's have a good time.
delicious to lose. Me lover, and you too vital and too special to abuse. What's good for rum goat is good for gander and goose too. Me lover, you must remember, me baby lover, when you out yonder, protect me pleasure. I don't go messing up my mind. No, don't go messing up my mind. Me darling, no. Let's have a good time. No, 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 no. Me lover, me lover, me lover. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Me darling, no. Let's have a good time. Oh no. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. No. Let's have a good time. Hey, darling, no, no, no. Let's have a good time. No, oh no, oh no. Let's have a good time. Me darling, me darling, me darling, me darling, your lover.
In this life that we live in, oh yeah, yeah. Says you got to have that someone. If I gave you this water, would you drink it from my hands? If I told you my secrets, would you tell them I'm your man? Now that you know my secrets, use against me if you can. It's only you that I'm asking. You stand beside this man. As if you decide to tell me yes. Yes, I know that you know. Now you know I got the rest. And if you decide to tell me yes, yes I know that you know. Now you know I got the rest. If I gave you protection, would you sleep inside my dome? It's only me and you, baby. We would never be alone. Cause anything you require, I'll assist it on my own. Cause I'm a man of my words, baby. Turn our house into a home. If you decide to tell me yes, yes I know that you know. Now you know I got the rest. And if you decide to tell me yes, yes I know that you know. Now you know I got the rest. Lord, I ask in my prayer for a woman so unique. Come and give me your love, girl. I never felt it so sweet. I'm never leaving, I'm staying. I just thought I'd let you know. So come and give me your love, girl, cause I'll never let you go. If you decide to tell me yes, yes I know, yes I know. that you know I got the rest. And if you decide to tell me yes I know that you know, now you know I got the rest. If you decide to tell me yes I know that you know I got the rest. And if you decide to tell me yes I know that you know, now you know I got the rest.
Boy, 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 boy. This one is gonna make you weak. My love, hey. This one is gonna make you so very weak in the knees, yeah. I see you living a life of selfishness with no love for humanity. You no care for no one else. Do what you want to do when you want to do. Take what you want and call it yours and say that's no mistake. Pressure in your children, tell me how much can we take? Sometimes when we a smile at your alone, no say it's fair. The pressures and the pain you sure are you alone with sick. Cause this one is gonna make you sweet in the knees. My love, this one is gonna make you so very weak in the knees, yeah. I see mothers against daughters, fathers against sons, brothers fighting sisters. My God, when will we learn? How much more we got to see? Very soon the time will come when all wickedness must go down and righteousness must come around. When I see little children making babies, and the youth them lost them respect for the elders, and every youth you meet them tell you them a gangster, and if you ready them a bit shot it will fire. I wanna this every youth man desire. When someone pray, teach them to pray, teach them to pray. This one is gonna make you weak in the knees. My love, this one is gonna make you so very weak in the knees, yeah. So very weak, so very weak. Well, I see little children making babies, and they use them lost them respect for the elders, and every youth you meet them tell you them a gangster, and if you ready them a bit shot it will fire. I wanna this every youth man desire. Someone pray. Someone pray.
You just stay lying and doing nothing. As the world over, you just a freeloader. Problems every day, you have nothing to say. You rather run and hide before you take a side. I can stand up for something or you will die for nothing. In your whole lifespan, you never make one stand. Stand up for something or you will die for. People dying every day and you have nothing to say. Stand up for something or you will die for. Stand up, stand up, stand up for something or you will die for nothing. Workers out striking, black cats protesting. Before you join the fight, you rather brave the strike. Don't like the condition, so they fight in the election. Before you sympathize, you rather criticize. I tell you, stand up for something or you will die. Corruption done with truth, still you will not vote. Why? Stand up for something or you will die. Killing going on every day, you have nothing to say. Stand up for something or you will die for nothing. Stand up, stand up, stand up for something or you will die for nothing. You talking the talk, people walking the walk. You happy as ever to be a fence watcher. Life's a precious thing for you to be within. Stand up and play your part and play it from your heart. I tell you, stand up for something or you will die for nothing. Get up, my friend, your life soon will end. I tell you, stand up for something or you will die for nothing. So your grandchildren too would be proud of you. I tell you, stand up for something or you will die for nothing. Stand up, stand up, stand up for something or you will die for nothing.